Hey guys, welcome back. It's been quite a while since the last episode. There have been a lot of things that have happened within that time that have made both of us kind of hold back on this one. Well, more so Manny than me. Manny got the fucking Rona because he went on vacation and went clubbing like a gangster, and then he got the Rona, womp womp, so he wasn't able to watch the shows that we planned to watch. Also because Funimation is ass, and like Tatami Galaxy is really difficult to watch if you can't like rewind it and stuff, so he didn't end up watching Tatami Galaxy, and he didn't watch Star Wars Visions because he didn't have Disney Plus, and I would have given it to him if I knew that that was going to make him not watch it. And I will try to make sure that that doesn't happen again, but he'll definitely watch Star Wars Visions pretty soon. So because, you know, Manny got coronavirus and he was on vacation, so like, you know, his time was like stilted. He didn't get to watch the same things that we kind of planned to watch from last episode, but thankfully we had enough to talk about on this episode that we watched, like in terms of movies and stuff. And he did watch Deca-Dence, so yeah, we made up for it in the ways that we did. And as a result of the fact that we don't really have a main show this time because we didn't watch the shows that we planned to watch, very scattered. You know, I feel like the main discussions are kind of peppered throughout. I could honestly interchange the Promare discussion and the Tokyo Revengers discussion as like main discussions. I feel like those two are pretty meaty and dense enough to where I could have put Tokyo Revengers in the thumbnail instead of Promare, but you know, whatever the case, I'll assure you that next time it won't be nearly as long of a wait or, you know, misinformation in terms of like what the next episode will be about. I'm pretty sure next time we're going to talk about Ocean Waves, Ride Your Wave, and what was the third movie? Shit. Princess Mononoke? Fuck, I feel kind of ass. I'm pretty sure it was Princess Mononoke. If I don't edit this out and I don't re-record it, then it's probably Princess Mononoke. Yeah, so those are the things that we're going to talk about next time, and then it'll be much sooner. It'll probably be in like a week or 2 weeks. I'm also trying to get back on my flow with making YouTube videos, so I'm not trying to take too long when I do these. Yeah, sorry for wasting your time. Just wanted to justify why this episode was very scattered and some of the conversations are a little bland compared to most of the ones we have. It's because we didn't watch like the same things together, and you know, we kind of just watched stuff on our own and then we discussed it after the fact. So yeah, we'll do better next time. Sorry, but hope you enjoy this episode nonetheless. Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Okay. Hello. Here we go. All right, Manny. Finally, after a long time, a whole month.
It's very long.
All right. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock, October 1st. Let's get this show on the road. Tell me all the shit. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I guess we just start off by naming the shit we watched.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me the stuff you watched first, or do you want me to go with my stuff? Tell me the stuff you watched first, because I think my stuff is. I think I watched more, and I think it's gonna be more shocking.
Yeah, you watched way more. I watched Deca-Dence.
Deca-Dence.
I mean, Tokyo Revengers ended.
Okay.
I watched Promare.
Oh, yes! Yes, okay, that's good. That makes me very happy. Good.
I watched Weathering with You.
Okay.
And I watched something else.
Go ahead, check. Take your time.
Oh, and I watched The Cat Returns, the Ghibli movie.
Right. I remember you saying that. Good.
I fucking I love the cat returns.
Really? Okay.
Is this? Oh my god.
I'm excited that you liked it because I've seen it before, but it's been like a really long time, and I was gonna rewatch it, but then I ended up not doing that. All right, Manny. So that's it. That's everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I went fucking hard because you text me that I was gonna be surprised, and I'm like, do I have anything to surprise Manny? Oh, I guess not. And then I was like, I gotta surprise him. So I watched a ton of stuff. So much that I made sure that I wrote it down because I knew I was gonna forget what I watched. Okay, so for shows, I watched one, two, three, four, five, six shows. Okay, Deca-Dence, Tatami Galaxy, Star Wars Visions. I watched the first episode of Tokyo Revengers, and I didn't watch the rest. I only watched one episode. But I wrote that down because I can talk about that. I finished season 2 of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. That ended because I was watching it weekly. And then I read the manga for My Hero Academia season 5. I didn't watch season 5, but I read everything that happens in season 5. And I did that assuming that you would have finished it because you were watching it weekly.
I did not finish My Hero.
Oh!
Did season 5 stop? Is it?
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
My Hero's got so boring. I fucking stopped. I'm like 3 episodes behind.
Yeah, that's fair. That's okay. It is boring. That's why I didn't fucking watch it in the anime. It was stupid. In the manga, it was OD, but in anime form, it's ass. So those are the shows that I watched, and then for movies, I rewatched at the beginning of the month. I rewatched Your Name. So you watched Weathering with.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty cool. And I've only seen it once when it came out, so this is the second time I see it. Promare, obviously, I went to see it in the theater. Then I watched Ghost in the Shell in fucking IMAX. That shit was awesome. That was amazing. Then I watched The Night is Short, Walk On Girl, which is the movie that I told you to watch, like in tandem with. Yeah. And then I decided to squeeze this in because I know you've seen it before by looking at your list, and I was like, I want to watch this too, so I'll watch it too, and then maybe we can have a quick chat. And I decided to watch Batman Ninja for the first time. I've never seen Batman Ninja, so
it's on my list.
I believe so. Now I'm gonna feel really bad. I'm pretty sure it's on your list.
I watched it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you put it on your list. It's an anime.
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah. So that's everything I saw. Pretty good. Yeah. But so the things that we both watched were just Deca-Dence and Promare.
Deca-Dence and Tokyo, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about. We actually do have a lot.
With you?
Yeah, I've seen Weathering with You, so we can talk about that too. And I've seen The Cat Returns. So like, I think I saw all the movies that you said.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we have a lot. Okay, tell me about what you watched. Deca-Dence, Cat Returns, Promare, and Weathering with You. Let's talk about The Cat Returns first. Actually, no. I watched a lot of stuff that you didn't watch. Should I talk about that first? Let me see. Let me see. Do you want to hear about that stuff, or do you want to just talk about The Cat Returns? We can just do that.
You don't need to talk about Star Wars. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I know you're gonna watch that.
You can't talk about Tatsumi. I'm gonna watch it.
I won't talk about Night is Short either.
What?
I guess the only thing I could talk about is Your Name and Ghost in the Shell. If you want me to talk about those now would be the time to do it.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll talk about Your Name.
One thing, I want to rewatch Your Name as well.
Okay. Do you want to hear my full opinion right now? Okay.
Yeah, but hold on. I want to rewatch Your Name, but from what from what I remember watching it in high school and watching Weathering with You now,
Yeah.
I think Weathering with You is better.
Okay.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly I say that, but I know I need to rewatch Your Name.
Yeah, because.
But right now, like at the end of the movie, I was like, this movie is better.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to watch Your Name.
Okay.
Yeah,
my reaction when so now that we're just on Your Name and Weathering with You, we might as well just like conjoin the two for like the conversation. When you watched Weathering with You, did you notice that the characters from Your Name were in Weathering with You? Did that like blow your fucking mind? Did you go, that's the dude from the because when I was
it's funny because the way it happened with me, because I seen somewhere that way years ago, I seen that the characters were in the movie, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I already knew, but then
okay.
I forgot about it. So I'm watching the movie. Then the dude's getting the ring from the girl. This random girl looks way too animated, way too like special, right? She doesn't look like a fucking throwaway. I'm looking at her. I'm like, that's from Your Name. I knew it was like, the thing is too, I didn't remember the guy. I saw the guy.
Yeah. When I was in the theater.
Yeah, I saw the girl. I was like,
with the girl, you're supposed to immediately register that it's her because she's wearing the ribbon like in her hair, and they specifically show the ribbon, so you're like, oh my god. But with the guy, I couldn't even tell because the dude from the movie looks like a normal dude, and he doesn't have anything. He doesn't wear like a pin or anything in his hair, so you can't tell. But like, bro, when I was in the theater, like, there was like a simultaneous like like from the entire audience, like when the dude popped up, and me and Kevin looked at each other, we were like, oh, what the fuck? And Lewis was high, so so he was like, what's going on? I don't know why everyone's reacting this way. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I forgot about that part of Weathering with You. But let me talk about Your Name real quick. So I'm just like you, where when I watched it in high school, I felt as if like it was like amazing, and I like, you know, fell for it in the same way that everybody else did. And since then, since this movie came out, what, 2016, in like the past 5 years, I have heard a lot of negative things about this movie. Like, just like, yeah, like Your Name. Like there's a vocal group of people that do not like Your Name. And now that I've grown up and I've also become kind of more cynical and more critical of film, I was wondering, like,
extremely more cynical.
Yeah. I was wondering if I would feel the same way, but I remember loving the movie, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like dislike this, like, right? And after rewatching it with my new adult anime brain, I understand why people don't like this movie, Manny. It does not make any sense. I could go, okay, so one of the criticisms that people give about this movie, like a lot of film fans, like people who are into movies that watch this movie, that aren't really into anime, but they watch this, a lot of criticism that this movie gets is that like it's structured poorly, which I totally disagree with. The movie, it's about like the dude and the girl switching into each other's bodies, right? And they both like, for the first like bit of the movie, they both slowly realize that they're like in one another's body, but they don't really like fully understand what's going on. And you as the viewer don't fully understand what's going on. And you're kind of learning as the characters are learning it, right? So that beginning part of the movie is structured very weirdly to accentuate the mystery of like what's happening with these characters, why is it happening, and like how are the characters going to resolve it and figure it out as the viewers figure it out, you know what I mean? And it's structured weird in that way, because if you just like spent an entire day with the girl and then spent an entire day with the guy, like the girl in the guy's body and the guy in the girl's body, then like you'd immediately know it. So they keep like switching back and forth, and and doing all of these like weird things where you don't really know when like a certain scene is taking place. You don't know if it's taking place before the scene that just came before. Like, it's structured weird, and people like to criticize that. But I disagree that that is an issue of the movie. I actually think that the movie structure adds to the experience and to the overall mystery of like what is happening in the beginning of the movie. So I wanted to bring that up because that's like one thing that I know people say about it, and I'm like, that's not valid. Like that's not a good criticism in my opinion. So there's that. And I actually appreciated the movie a lot while I was watching it. But if you recall, the main twist of Your Name is that the dude. Why are you laughing?
I just sounded so funny, dude. I don't know why.
The main twist of Your Name is that the dude like realizes that the girl is like 3 years in the past, and he like that's like the twist of the movie, like in the middle, and then like, you know, the meteor like crashes into like the city and stuff.
Hold on. That meteor crash scene was animated nice though. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it looking so good, but continue. It looked so good.
And that twist, the entire movie is reliant on you being sold on that twist. You need to be... Get ready, Manny. You think this is funny now? The entire movie relies on you being sold of that twist. You need to believe that when this dude's like, yo, she's 3 years in the past. Oh my God. You need to believe him when he's like, oh my God, like I'm understanding this as you're understanding it. But you can't do that, Manny, because it's absolutely fucking stupid that these two characters do not realize that they are, when they switch bodies, they are in different years. Yeah. I did not even notice that on my first watch, but on my second.
You telling me no? That's when I'm figuring it out. Yeah. That's crazy.
Manny.
That's why I started laughing. I was just about to say that, bro.
Manny, it's so unacceptable in this movie because the whole movie revolves around this. Sometimes people will critique logical inconsistencies in movies, especially like time travel movies. Right. But sometimes it doesn't matter because it's like not that deep, or it's like super minute and like they're being too critical. The entire movie revolves around this. This is the only thing that needs to make sense, and it doesn't. This is the only thing that needs to make sense. And the reason why it doesn't make sense is because these fucking characters are on their phone all the time. They go to fucking school. You're telling me that you did not see the date written down anywhere. They use a diary app to communicate with each other. It doesn't say what year it is in the diary app. It's like, oh my God, this is so stupid. That is the primary thing, Manny. The reason why people don't like Your Name is primarily because of that thing. And a couple other minor things that are really stupid as well. That's like the main thing that like ruined it for me. And by the time I was sitting there, I was like, I don't even care, bro. Like, this doesn't, you don't earn any of the moments that follow this because you didn't do that right. You know what I mean? So
right. Now, so hear me out. I completely understand what you mean, right? It's that fine line between this movie fucked up this part, like logically. Now the whole movie's fucked, or it's like this doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't really matter. The movie's still good. Yeah. And I feel you. It's like, it's really like, bro, like it's the fact that that's the main fucking like gotcha moment. You know, it's like 3 years, and like the girl never like no one's. It's like
it's such. And you don't have to be like an overly analytical movie critic to notice that. That's something that like a lot of people will intuitively be like, wait, aren't you guys on your phones like all the time? Like, how the fuck don't you notice that? Like, that's not even like, sometimes like, I don't know. you know how some people, like me included, can like notice something that other people don't notice, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't even notice that inconsistency. You're just being too analytical. This is like an easy thing that everyone's gonna fucking notice when they watch the movie. And they animated this shit. And when you watch it and you watch the good animation and you watch how much effort they put into this fucking movie, all that's going through my head is like, how the fuck did you write this script and not realize the mistake that you had made? This is not this dude's first movie. This is like, he's made mad movies before this that are the same kind of movie. All of his movies are the same. They're like relationship movies with a sci-fi twist, right? Like all of his movies are like that. So how did you fuck it up when you've been doing this shit like for years? Like you've been doing this for a grip. It's so unacceptable. It's honestly like you can't forgive it.
Yeah, that's honestly unforgivable. And a lot of I don't remember them, but I know there's a lot of plot holes in the movie too.
That's the biggest plot hole. I mean,
yeah, that's definitely the biggest plot hole. But
I might have written down some other ones, but like all the other ones are null and void compared to that one. Like you can't fucking do that. It's so, ugh. Oh, and the movie starts with like an anime opening that like tells the whole story of the movie. It's so fucking weird. I don't even remember this. There is an opening, and there's a song that plays in the beginning, like a song with lyrics, and the opening sucks. Honestly, I'm not a music critic, but like, it's shit. It's like a bad song. I don't know how to say it like critically, but it's like a lame song. The singing sucks. I don't want to focus on that too much because, you know, my opinion on music doesn't hold as much weight because I can't back it up with like objective, you know, facts. But it's a shitty song. But and more so than anything, it shows the whole thing, Manny. It shows the whole movie. It shows what's going to happen between the characters. You're spoiling your movie in the beginning. How did I not register that when I watched it when I was like 15? That's so crazy to me.
I don't even remember that. I want to search that up.
Yeah. And at the very end of the movie, the ending, right? I recall the movie having a when I was in high school and I watched it for the first time, I remember the ending of the movie being really good because my expectations were subverted on whether the girl was going to be alive. You remember how like he sees her on the staircase, or he sees her on like a train or something, and he's like, I didn't know you were alive. And I remember when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, oh my God, like I was reacting in tandem with his reaction. And I recall the way that scene was directed and the way it was executed. You were figuring out with the main character that the girl was still alive and that she actually saved the town and she survived the accident, right? Like you're figuring it out with the main character. In my second watch of the movie, how the fuck does this dude not know that she is... No, wait. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. In my second watch of the movie, as I was saying, on my first watch, I thought that the way the scene was executed and the way that final like bit of the movie was done was like, yo, she's alive. And like when he realizes it, you realize it. But on my second watch, they actually tell you in like subtle ways that they survived without him noticing it. So you react much earlier than he does. And the entire movie, like for the last like 5 minutes of the movie where he's like walking around depressed because he thinks the girl died, you as an audience member, the movie tells you like by showing you her friends like at McDonald's or whatever. Like, do you remember that scene where like it shows her friends like sitting at McDonald's and it shows them like all grown up while he's grown up, and then it shows on like a TV like this is the 5th anniversary of the accident thing.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and because they show you that before, right?
Her friends could be dead.
Right. And then they show you them alive. So you're like, oh, okay, so she's alive. Like, you know, and now you're just kind of waiting. So I'm literally just sitting there like twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the final moment. And they execute it as if like, yo, they're not gonna meet each other.
He's alive.
Yeah. But it's like,
God.
but it's too little, too late. Like you can't sell me on that when you just told me. You know what I mean? And that was really bad. Like I just wanted to say like that was executed poorly. So the whole ending of the movie, the whole part where you're supposed to be like, my emotions, like I don't even feel anything. I feel nothing.
It's stolen from you.
It's stolen from you because they stole it from you. They ripped that shit away from you. And those were the main things I wanted to say. Also, like you say plot holes, I can bring it back to the I'm going to bring it back to like the 3-year gap thing. Another justification for the whole 3-year gap is like, oh, this dude didn't know about the comet. Like he never knew about the comet. Like, and like he didn't watch the news. He didn't know that the city that he was in was the city that gets hit by the comet. But when the comet does strike, like in real time, like when it actually does happen and he's in Tokyo and it like hits her, like in like, you know, whatever timeline she was in, he sees it. He's sitting there with his dad watching the news and they're like, yo, shards from this comet are falling. Go look outside. And he's like, yo, I'm going to go look outside. He looks outside. He sees the fucking comet. There's no way you're going to see a comet like drop onto your continent and then not watch the news the next day to be like, yo, dad, what happened with that comet? You both were sitting there. And the movie justifies like him not knowing that she was 3 years in the past in the city that got hit by the comet. It justifies that by saying that, oh, he just doesn't really watch the news. He just doesn't really like pay attention to that stuff. But he was watching the news. It was a big event. That's like 9/11, Manny. That's like 9/11. That's like if 9/11 happened and you just didn't know about it.
That's worse than fucking 9/11. Bro.
It is.
Yeah, like what the? It's like I don't remember the movie, but please don't tell me the movie tries to be like, oh, the main character is so disconnected from media, and like, it's like, how don't you know that? Like how don't you know?
If
Brockton just blew up from a comet, and people in Boston don't fucking know. Like,
bro, I could. It's crazy because like I feel like if they never showed the character watching the news, I might. What you're saying still stands true, and that's like you're right. Yeah. Like if a comet fell on fucking, you know, Easton, I would know. But if I could suspend my disbelief, if you made it a point that the character did not watch TV, if you like made that explicit. But they show him sitting with his dad watching the news broadcast, and then go outside and watch the comet fall. He saw that shit fall. You don't see the comet fall and then just be like, and then just not watch the news the next day or not hear your friends talk about it. Like, yo, you heard a fucking city blew up? Like, all the way down there?
Yeah, bro. Easton fucking disappeared yesterday, bro.
Yo, I was trying to pipe.
3 years, I'll be like, this is Easton? Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, man. That's crazy.
And it's frustrating. It's not even like I can sit there and laugh at the movie and like be like, haha, movie bad. I can't even do that because the parts of the movie that you remember being good are good. The moments where the characters like are interacting with each other and like you can tell that they love each other and they care about each other. That moment when he like writes on her hand and then he disappears like because they both like met, that shit is still awesome. Like when you see it, but it's squandered by the fact that like there's just all these inconsistencies and all these dumb moments that permeate throughout the like centerpiece of this fucking story, and it sucks, and it's really a shame. The movie is a frustratingly like mediocre movie. Like it's a movie that aims really high and doesn't reach those heights at all because of just stupid shit, and it's very sad.
Yeah, I wonder how shit like that got like through. Like no one like questioned like the writing of
Well,
it.
I think with me, if I were to analyze it with me as a kid, I think I just didn't pay attention to movies a lot when I was younger. I think I would just like, I genuinely think I would like daydream while watching movies, or I just wouldn't acknowledge stuff. If I had to rationalize it for everybody, I think that there are logical inconsistencies in a lot of movies. I think that happens a lot with like most of the movies that you love like as a kid and enjoy and that are classics. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge those flaws, so they subconsciously just pretend like they don't exist, even though they already subconsciously acknowledged it because it's obvious, but they don't want to question it because a lot of people just assume that the movie is smarter than them, right? They assume like if someone's going to go through all this effort to make this fucking movie, there's no way they'd fuck up that easy, right? So let me just not question it. I think that's what a lot of people do, and I think that's what I do. I mean, I did when I was a kid. And now as an older person, I realize that like a lot of movies don't think about these things, and they do fuck up. And this is one of those movies, and it really sucks, bro. Like I did not go into this movie thinking that I was going to be a hater walking out of it, but I hate Your Name. Actually, I take that back. It's not even like, it's not the worst movie ever made. It's, my ratings don't reflect my personal feelings all the time. My feelings towards this movie are like, I am so angry that this movie fumbles in the way that it does. Is it the worst movie ever made? No. Does it make me angrier than like movies that I think are worse than it? Yeah. Because it's like, you had something special and you ruined it. You fucking ruined it because you wanted to just not think about the script. So I'd give Your Name a 5 out of 10 because it's not the worst thing ever. There are so much worse out there. And the emotional moments do still kind of resonate a little bit here and there. And you know, it is a very pretty movie. And there are some decent moments, but yeah, 5 out of 10, it's bad. And I had it as like an 8. Like on my, like when I just rated it initially, I was like 8 out of 10. And now, given that I don't like Your Name because of this inconsistency, which is a time travel thing, right? It's because he didn't think about time travel. A lot of people don't think about time travel when they make stories like this. I wonder if Weathering with You is like way better. I wonder if Weathering with You is the Your Name that I like, that I thought Your Name was back in 2016. You know what I mean? So
Have you seen it?
yeah, I've seen Weathering with You. I saw it when it came out, but it's been a while, and I need to rewatch it again to like see if I like it as much. Because when I watched it for the first time, I was like, Your Name is better than this. That's how I felt. But now that I know Your Name is not as good, I need to see if Weathering with You is even as, if Weathering with You is better than I remember it. Yeah. One of the things that I liked about Your Name that really resonated with me, like, was the distance between the two main characters. I like that they're long distance and they're trying to like get back together and they're struggling to. And in Weathering with You, I didn't feel like they had that struggle because they were together the whole time. They were like with each other the whole movie. And I specifically acknowledged that aspect of Your Name and said that I liked Your Name more because Weathering with You didn't have that one thing that I really liked. But now that I think Your Name is like a worse movie, even though the image that I had of Your Name in 2016 can probably not be matched by Weathering with You now, I wonder if Weathering with You even comes close to that, you know? Yeah. So I guess we can transition into that. Since you watched it recently, you tell me what you thought about that.
Weathering with You.
Yeah.
Where should I start?
Yeah.
Let me just take a.
Go ahead. Take a gander at your notes.
I was just gonna say gander. That's great. No, let me take something first. I was watching this in security, and no joke, it was a sunny day. No joke, it started raining. It started raining, Ali. I'm talking about mid-movie. It started raining. It started like drizzling. I'm looking outside like, what the? Because the sun's right there, and it started drizzling. I couldn't believe it. I'm not joking. Like,
that's really funny. That's so cool.
This acts like it's happened before. I've only seen this shit in Virginia. Like, it's the sun's beaming and it's like raining. Like,
Yeah.
and it happened again. I'm like, I'm watching the movie. I look outside. It's fucking raining.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. I had
Okay.
to fucking.
That's cool.
It was like,
That's
it's
cool.
fucking magical. One thing I liked was I liked it, but I didn't like it. Right. So
Okay.
the movie held some weight, right, with the relationship, as
Yeah.
in like you fucking save Tokyo or you save the girl, right?
Yeah.
You ruin millions of people's lives. Like the biggest city, right?
Right.
You ruin millions of people's lives. All billions of dollars gone.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
billions gone. Everything gone for this one girl, right?
Yeah.
But I'll not even get to that. One thing I like that the movie did, I thought this movie was gonna do an ass pull, like he saved the girl and the city, right? I was like, Ali, it's coming. There's some bullshit's gonna happen. I was watching. I was like, yo, if he does some fuck shit, gets the girl and the rain stops,
Right,
this
right.
movie is fucking ass.
Yeah. I felt the exact same way. Yeah.
But it didn't happen. And I was like,
Bro, I love.
some corny ass shit to happen, but
Yeah.
the movie, like that weight was, he fucking saved the girl, right? And I like right when he saved the girl, it was sunny, then boom, rain, like, it came down, everyone was fucked.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this movie, okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And then, but going back to the weight thing, like, I like how like they show the shit, like the city after years, like the city is like submerged, and he's just, I'm looking at the city like, damn, he did this for one girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And then like he doesn't give a fuck. Honestly, I like that he doesn't care.
I love that. I think the reason why I think I'm gonna love Weathering with You more than your name is because the ending that I thought Your Name had that was so perfect, Weathering with You has a way better ending. Like when I remember it, I'm just like, yo, that ending is that's so challenging. Cause I remember when I went to go see it in the movie theaters, like after the movie, there was like an interview with the director, like on the screen, like not in person, but like on the screen, and he was saying like, yeah, like I don't think everyone's gonna like that ending because a lot of people probably won't agree with that, but you know, I fuck with that so much. That's so like it's so much more challenging than like the other one, than Your Name.
Yeah, because you can say he's right, you can say he's wrong.
Yeah.
But like he kept that same energy.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he did not care. Like he's looking at the city like, fuck that shit.
It actually reminds me of Joker a lot because in Joker, the dude is wrong and he's like bad, but you understand him and you empathize him and you kind of want to see him succeed in the same way that you do with this character. It's like you're ruining a lot of people's lives, but I also love that girl and I want you to get the girl, and you got the girl. So
But another thing, that compares to Joker's true.
Yeah.
That's why I love that Joker movie.
Mm-hmm. And that is attributed to, in my opinion, good writing. Like if you can sell people on your characters and you can get them to love and understand and get your characters through the script, then you did your job correctly. And that's what I felt about Weathering with You. The final scene has impact because you care about their relationship and you care about the conflict and you think it's like, there's like actual weight to it. So yeah.
And at the start when they're like, we changed the world or we shaped the world, and they like, he really did. Like, he did. Yeah. Like I'm saying, I really thought this was gonna do the ass pull.
Yeah.
I thought, but I'm so happy it didn't. But another thing, like one thing I wish the movie did. This might be going too far for a movie like this, but like, I see like flooding in real life really like fucks people.
Yeah.
Like fucks people up. I wish it showed more like street level, personal, like how like people getting like fucked up. You don't have to show like people dying.
Well, that's like would you say?
because I know what you mean, but when you say like flooding, is flooding like a steady rise of water under buildings, or is it like water fucking going down the streets like a movie, you know, and like breaking windows and shit? Is that like, because I see tsunamis like that, and I know I've seen videos like that too. But if it's just raining and it just stems from rain, would it really happen like that? Like
not like I said, not like people dying.
Right.
Like, I wish they showed. I don't know, because you see the city submerged, and it's like, damn, like that city's fucked up.
Right.
But I wish they got into the streets of the city, like, damn, like it really showed, like,
right.
Like you see it, but you don't really see it. You know what I mean?
That might have taken away from the gratification that you got when he saved the girl, because then you would have been like, I don't know, bro. I just saw a dude get his ass kicked by that window that smashed his face by the water. You should have saved the city.
Because like another thing, like at the end, I didn't like. They go to this old girl.
Yeah.
And then like he's talking to her, and she was like, "Yeah, I got a house out here. We just moved out of Tokyo." I'm like, that shit. I wish he was like, I ever since it's raining, I hate it. Like, it doesn't have to be that depressing. But I wish he like was like, I wish the rain stopped. I wish we were still in Tokyo. I miss Tokyo so much. Now it's underwater. But the movie shows her. She's like, yeah, we moved out here, chilling. And it shows people on like they use boats to go through the submerged city,
right?
And they're all chilling. They're all happy. Mm-hmm. Like, I wish the movie was like show people like kind of down,
more pessimistic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like bro. That shit's depressing as fuck.
Right.
And people they're just chilling. Like, if the movie was like, like show that this is catastrophic.
Right.
Honestly, it's catastrophic. I wish the movie just showed that a little more. You'd be like, oh damn.
If the movie did show that, the ending might have to be a different ending or executed differently. They might have to justify it more, you know, because they want to sell you on the idea of like, yo, we picked the girl, don't you like that? And if they show you all these people getting fucked up, then you're probably not gonna like that. So I get what you're saying, but I do think that might be too far.
I don't think it would be too far though, because I feel like even if everything I said, I still feel like I wanted him to I wanted him to pick the girl. I feel like most people would want him to pick the girl, regardless. I don't know. When I saw people just chilling on the boats, happy as fuck, I was like,
right.
What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still like, but don't get me wrong. Let me move on to the main character. That's how I feel about the city. I still I still thought the city being submerged is cool as fuck. It really had some impact. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they could add a little more. But that's that. Another thing, the main character is fucking. This dude's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
This is like the craziest main character I've seen in a movie.
Really?
This dude, fucking Japan, a fucking country, like, where I know it's like, if you have a gun, you get 5 years. If you shoot a gun, you get life. If you fire your gun, you get life. I searched this shit up after the movie.
Oh, really?
I knew Japan had no guns, so I was like, this dude, he gets a gun like randomly throughout the movie. I was like, when he got the gun, I was like, oh, that's gonna be used later, right? Obviously. The dude, he's getting fucked up by this guy. He pulls out the gun, shoots, goes right by his ear. I'm like, no way. Then he just runs away.
Wow. With that context, that scene has more impact. Like, I think, okay, yeah. Because they pause, like, everybody stops, like, you just shot a gun! We all gotta get the fuck out of here! Okay, that makes more sense, yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, a couple scenes later, it shows fucking the Japanese CIA after this dude. I'm like, oh, yeah, that would really happen, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're like, you know this guy right here? Fucking had a gun in Japan. Who is this guy, right? So I was like, I'm kind of liking it. I like the character. There's a lot of things, but I like how the character fucking he's so crazy. I'm kind of scrambled at him. There's a point where he's at a fucking Mexican standoff with fucking 4 FBI fucking Japanese dudes. And he's pointing a gun at them. They're all pointing their guns at him. 1v4, and he's like, I just want to find her. I'm gonna find her. Because the girl disappeared, right? She went to the sky. He's wild. I'm watching this movie. I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
That's crazy.
I'm gonna go back a little. Like, he honestly isn't really nothing special as a main character. Mm-hmm. But the shit he does makes him like, I'm gonna remember this shit.
Yeah.
Fucking pointing gun. He's like, I'm gonna find her. Like, he's so like.
Bro, that didn't even like register with me because I didn't really take into account that like guns were illegal in Japan, and I don't know. I feel like I've seen a lot of other characters like that, but I guess especially when you compare it to like Your Name, then it is really shocking. Yeah, with that context, that does make him a lot more cooler and a lot more riskier.
Because you know how his like mentor.
Yeah.
First of all, his mentor is probably the best character in the show. Fucking.
Yeah.
Gave him a house.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That guy was cool.
All that shit, right? But then the mentor's like, "Yo, stop, bro. You need to stop. She's gone, bro. Like, you're ruining your life. Like, he's saying some real shit. Like some real shit. Like you're ruining your life, bro. The cops after you we'll go to the station and explain everything." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna find her." And then like the mentor's like, because his wife died like 3 years ago in the accident, and he's like, and he's been depressed ever since. But he's still like, "Yo, you're gonna ruin your life, bro. Come on." And he gets the gun. The FBI guys come in. He's like, I'm gonna find her. And then fucking the mentor's like sees him and like, I don't know if he's crying, probably tearing up. He's like, "Oh my god, he's doing serious." Like, and I'm like, in real life, those cops would have just fucking killed him right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
They're not gonna let them aim a gun. So they would have killed him. But
do cops have guns
in Japan?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. Did they have guns in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're like fucking special cops. They weren't normal cops.
Okay.
They're like as an FBI fucking guy.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, like I said, he just pointing a gun. I'm like, what the fuck? And then the mentor like fucking pins down one of the FBI agents. And I'm like, he's fucked. He's going to jail. Then the other FBI agent points the gun at the kid. He's running because he has to get to the top of the roof. He's running. The other FBI comes in, like some kids from earlier come take that dude down. I'm like, those kids are fucked.
Yeah.
He gets to the top, gets there, fucking. And another thing I like on the show, he's like praying to God. He's like, "God, please."
Yes,
like, please.
yes.
He's so desperate, and like I feel it. I feel this shit. God, please. He goes through the thing, saves the girl. They had a little fall down from the sky. Like, woo. The animation looks fucking cool.
That animation was godlike. That was like on another fucking level. But if you like watch all of his movies or like just see clips of his old movies, that like scene of them falling is like the climax. Yeah, like the pinnacle of his anime. That shit's like better than the comet from Your Name, in my opinion. Like it's it's fucking amazing.
He falls to the sky, saves her. The rain comes down, pouring. Right. I'm like,
and the song is better too in that movie. Sorry, but I like the main theme.
Yeah.
Grand Escape.
The dude goes on probation. They send him home.
Mm-hmm.
He goes on probation. He should have been fucked.
Yeah, I know.
Should have been fucked. Aiming guns, shooting. But they gave him probation for 3 years. Then he goes back to Tokyo, finds the girl. And I like how the girl, she loses her sun powers, right? But when he goes and sees her, she's still praying for the rain to go away. I like that. She's still trying, you know.
Right.
Even though she lost it, she's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And the ending happens. And Ollie, honestly, the whole movie, the whole 2 hours, I was enjoying myself for real. Like, that's why I like that shit more. I don't remember enjoying Your Name as much as Whether It's True. Like, the main character's doing some crazy shit.
Right.
It was so enjoyable, honestly.
Yeah,
That was a
Weathering
good
with You had more like narrative beats to attach yourself to. There was more.
Right.
The stakes were high throughout the movie, while Your Name, the stakes are high in the third act with the meteor.
Right.
And the rest of literally like the first half of the movie is just kind of them dicking around, like figuring out what's happening, and then then when they figure it out, it's like, oh, okay, now things are getting interesting. So you're right. I agree with that. I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, dude, that was really good. Weathering with You, good. Honestly, I wish I took more notes.
That's what you said was fruitful. I feel like you said a lot.
Yeah, I wish I took more notes, but
I don't really have much to say because it's been like 2 years since I've seen it. So.
Yeah, dude, I really enjoyed it. Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
Good.
When I finished it, I was like, it was better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be Your Name.
Yeah.
But just as gay.
It's way better than Your Name. It's way better. Probably a lot of his movies are better. You've seen The Garden of the Words, right?
She's in the movie too. The teacher in that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Weathering with You?
Yes.
I did not notice that because I've never seen that movie. Fuck.
It was cool.
Was that movie better than? Do you remember that movie? Because I know you said you watched that. Yeah.
That movie, it's like 40 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
It was really it's really, I don't know.
Okay.
It's something really remarkable.
Okay, gotcha.
It is short, 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So like this kid likes his teacher and
Yeah.
crying and shit. Also, I don't even remember what happened, but I did enjoy watching it.
Mhm.
I was enjoying it watching it, but I don't remember.
I
But
just
I remember
remember that one being like a rain themed one as well, and it was
It was.
Yeah, he always likes to do some
and
shit.
it's cool because like it kind of connects. Because in Ghana words, the teacher is like, "I'm gonna go leave and teach in Tokyo," and then she goes to Tokyo and it starts raining. And then
Oh, that's crazy. That's
right?
cool. Yeah, that's
It is
dope.
cool. Then it shows her teaching in Tokyo.
Wow, that's
It's
dope
cool.
as hell. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Man, all of his movies are just like relationshipy. I'm interested to see what he'll do that's not that. Like if he does something that literally is everyone. He's made a lot of movies. He's got like maybe movies / short films. He's got like a lot under his catalog. When his first movie, it was just like him and his wife, and they animated the whole like movie together, and it was like an hour long, I think. I was like, God damn. Like, I'm not allowed to complain that, you know, I have nothing to make a movie myself when this man just did it all on his own. I was like, God,
That is crazy.
that's
Well,
really cool.
Yeah. Whether it's you, W.
W. You gotta,
W movie.
you don't rate the movies? You're gonna W or L? That's how
Probably
you do it?
gonna be like an 8.3.
Okay. I gave it an 8 when I watched it. If I were to rewatch it, I would probably like it, but I probably wouldn't give it an 8 based on how I rate things now. I feel like if I were to guess, I'd probably give it like a 7 or a 6. But yeah, we'll see.
I'll probably give it like an 8.1.
Nice.
I did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Next,
All right, next.
The Cat Returns.
The Cat Returns? Okay. Cat Returns.
The Cat
Cool.
Returns is so magical. It's so fucking like.
Is that your
it's so-
first Ghibli movie?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And I'm happy I started it with that one.
I'm glad you like that one because I remember feeling like that was one of my lesser like faves when I watched it.
I feel like I watched something else.
Go ahead. Take your time.
Roman. I watched another one.
Okay.
I watched Great Neighbor Totoro.
Oh my God! You have to mention that. You can't forget that, Manny. Okay. Shit. You watched Totoro and Cat Returns. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cat Returns, my first Ghibli.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it.
Go off.
I loved it.
I don't even really remember it that much, to be honest.
It's so like.
It is magical. I remember that's like
magical.
all I remember about it, though. I didn't even really remember like a story. I remember the girl gets sucked into like Catland, and then cat hijinks ensue, and then she just goes back home, kind of.
I like the thing is I like the story doesn't overstay its welcome. Like it's a short film, tells a story, and like
I probably would appreciate that now if I were to watch it.
Yeah, bro, because I feel like if this movie was 2 hours, it would have been like it would have dragged. You know? Mm-hmm. But I think the 1 hour runtime, it kept it cute, kept it fun.
Yeah,
and it kept. I was enjoying that shit. Fucking. Ever since like when the cats start pulling up, I was like, oh yeah, this is getting good.
Yeah.
And to do with the
yeah, that guy.
I forgot his name. He has like a weird name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I just call him the cat.
He had like a long name. So I don't know.
It feels like they focus more on the magical element and like the vibe and the energy that it was exuding more. And I like movies that do that. I like movies that are more like a vibe than a story, and it feels like one of those movies.
Yeah, I feel like if I was a kid, dude, this movie would have been so legendary.
Yeah.
Not really. I appreciate what they did like so much. You know, this movie is not made for someone like me.
Right.
20 years, like 21 years old, bro. Like I can see it. I can appreciate it for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like the cats. You know how the cats pull up to the girl's house? They're all like, walking. Mm-hmm. The cats are carrying the cat king. They're all like walking. Like, they got cat security guards.
It's so it's so difficult to describe. Like, how do you even describe like the appeal of that? It's magical, but like
the main cat comes. He's fucking talking in his British accent.
Yeah.
His voice acting went hard.
It honestly like it reminds me kind of like of Toy Story, because it's something that you would imagine as a kid, and then like the movie like brings it to life. Kind of like a cat bodyguard and like a cat wearing a hat. Like that's some shit that like a kid would make up in their head, like when they're playing with their cats, you know? So it's like, and there are a lot of movies like I can't think of one right now, but like there are a lot of movies that are like that, where it's like, yo, you're not really in a magical world right now, but like this is being presented as if like through the lens of like the imagination that you're experiencing right now. All right. That should be good. You may continue. We were talking about the cat returns.
Yeah.
I was talking about the magical like aspect of it, and how do you construct like magic? How do you be critical of that and say like that this did it well and that didn't do it well? It's hard to explain. Like I recently just watched Coraline, and that movie is like, Coraline's like a 10 out of 10. Like that's like a masterpiece. Like that's like one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion. And like if you're a kid, that shit's gonna impact you. Like you're gonna feel that, and that's the same with The Cat Returns. It's, I don't know, it's like tapping into this part of your brain that's like, when you're a kid, you just have a different perspective on life. I don't know, your imagination is more wild, and in essence, it's not really your imagination. Like your imagination is to a degree your reality, you know?
Yeah.
I hit it right on the money right there. That your imagination is like kind of your reality. So when you watch a movie and like that's what's happening to like the child characters in the movie, then it's like okay. And that's kind of what Toy Story is about, where it's like the toys are alive, but like no one else knows. Yeah, bro. I got it. Fuck.
I feel like The Cat Return, it does it so well. Mm-hmm. It does it so well. I enjoyed that shit so much.
Yeah. You know that I don't know if it's a sequel or a spinoff, but you know there's a movie with the cat in it before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. It's called Whisper of the Heart. That's what it's called.
I think, isn't that on HBO?
All the Ghibli films are on HBO.
Is that a Ghibli film as well?
Yeah.
Has to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Want me to watch it?
Yeah, check it out. I wonder if watching that, because when I watched The Cat Returns, I was like, it was oddly like, it felt like there was context that I was missing, because it was hyping up the cat, and I'm like, I don't even know who this guy is. And now that I know that there's a movie that comes before, and I'm like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, it's like Alice in Wonderland.
I feel like when he came, it's like he didn't even need like
an introduction. It's like it assumes that you already know who he is, which could add to the mystery and like could make the movie indirectly better, like, you know, unintentionally better for you. But yeah, I want to watch. I wanted to watch The Cat Returns, but I remembered having that experience of feeling like I missed the first one, or like I'm missing pieces of it. So I was like, if I were to watch it, then I'd have to watch Whisper of the Heart, and Manny's probably not going to watch that. So like, I'll just wait until, you know, the episode.
I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, you watch it, and I'll be happy to watch it.
I got a lot of movies I gotta watch.
Yeah, you do. I'm glad you're back on your grind. I'm glad you're back on your grind.
Oh my god, there's just so many. HBO Max is incredible.
HBO Max is the best streaming service.
I'm literally gonna like watch all those movies, all of them. I'm gonna watch all of them.
Nice. I'm excited. If you want, now that you're doing movies more, tell me the movies, at least 2 that you're gonna watch, so that we can talk about them. Okay.
I'm gonna watch Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch Spirited Away. I'm gonna watch a movie called Ocean Waves.
Okay.
And another one called like Ride Your Waves.
Oh, Masaki Yuasa, Devilman.
That's 4. I'm watching those 4.
Spirited Away, Ride Your Wave,
Ocean Waves,
and Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
I'm excited. I never watched Spirited Away before.
Yeah, that's.
I always knew what it was, but
they're doing a theatrical re-release this week of Spirited Away, so maybe I'll do that instead of watching it on HBO Max for our talk. That'll be dope.
Honestly, I can like really just watch a movie a day.
Yeah. How our next call should be soon. I don't want to throttle your viewing experiences for our thing, but I want to talk about like everything, and I want to like be able to chat about everything. I mean, maybe we just won't be able to do that, but
when it comes in with this movie format, we'll talk about a lot of shit.
Yeah, maybe we can watch a bunch of shit, and then I can just cut up the episodes like into different pieces, instead of talking about like 7 things in one call, or like in one episode. We can do it in one call, but I'll like edit them like differently. Yeah, that could probably work. All right, cool. And I haven't really seen Princess Mononoke. Like, I've kind of seen it, but like I went to the theater and I was like sleepy, so I saw parts, but I didn't really watch it. So I'm excited to watch it again.
I'm excited. I heard that's one of the best ones. I heard that's what either I don't know if it saved Ghibli or put on the map. I forgot which one. Someone said something like that.
Interesting.
Like, it saved them or like put them on a map.
I don't know anything about that, so that would be interesting to find out. Yeah, my favorite Ghibli movie is Castle in the Sky. That's like the one that I fucking love.
I seen all. I'm gonna watch all of those, bro.
People love Princess Mononoke. Like, people love that movie because it's like, yeah, I won't say anything, but it's good.
But
it's gonna be fun. I like movies.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited, bro. I'm gonna like Ocean Waves. That's like.
I've never seen Ocean Waves, but I'm so excited to watch it. I've only heard good things.
Literally,
there are some good video essays. There are some video essays on that are like that have like a lot of cred in like the video essay community, and I've just had them on my watch list, and now I can watch it because you're gonna watch it, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah, that was the movie I was gonna sneak in before this call, but
That would have been
No.
a good. That would have been a good sneak in. That would have been a good one to sneak in.
Yeah, 'cause it's so short too.
Yeah, it's short and it's like one that's like tangentially connected. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
but but Cat Returns. I love that movie, dude.
I'm glad.
It's so heartwarming. It's so like wholesome.
Hmm.
So cute. So
Maybe
magical.
maybe I'll check it out again for the next episode. Give you an update on what I think about it.
Maybe for,
You want to talk
I
about
really,
My
I really
Neighbor
had
Totoro?
quickly. I never really had like no negatives. It was just like
Yeah, it was just good.
there's nothing really to take notes on. But
Yeah.
It was just like, I just enjoyed it. It was, yeah.
Is that
That's fun.
directed by Miyazaki? I think so.
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm gonna check that. But start talking about My Neighbor Totoro.
Totoro. It's funny because Totoro, like, apparently, this one dude was like, you know what? Like when people talk about Ghibli, that one always comes up. It's like top 3
Yeah.
in like most Ghibli list,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's a must watch.
Yeah.
I've seen Totoro before. Like, he's iconic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's iconic as hell. So I was super excited to watch it. Watched it. I didn't really like it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't connect with it that much either.
Yeah, it was like, you know, Totoro is so like iconic. He's famous as hell. I thought he would have a bigger role in the film,
Yeah.
but
I
like,
think-
literally,
I think it really just kind of boils down to big bunny, cute and fluffy and cute, and sometimes he does stuff. I think that's kind of it. And I mean that it's
it's weird because like he came, he yawned, he built the tree, he called the fucking cat taxi, and that was it. Like that's all he did.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
like he looked. I like his design.
Yeah, I like his design too. It almost didn't feel like he really had a character. You know, you never see him struggle. He never like gets hurt or anything, does he? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. I don't know why the movie's named after him.
Yeah.
Literally, I don't know why the movie's. I don't know why. It's so weird.
I'm gonna rewatch it because I want to give it another chance. Like, there's obviously something that I'm missing. So
I felt like I finished the movie. I felt like I took a nap between the major arcs.
Yeah.
I think I missed something huge. Like I was like, the movie ended. I was like, what the fuck? Like, where is Totoro? I came to see this bunny dude.
Yeah.
But
right.
the movie's about their mom being sick.
Yeah. I feel like I would like it more. Once again, it's one of those movies that I saw. I do feel like it was somewhat wrong place, wrong time. I might like it more now if I were to watch it. And they're going to do another theatrical release of that one pretty soon. So this month, October, it's going to be Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. And then I think next month it's Castle in the Sky and My Neighbor Totoro. So I'm going to watch it again pretty soon. And we'll see. But I had the very same feeling that you had, where it's just like, yo, what did I just watch? And it was one of those experiences where I was like, watching it subtitled like made it worse for me. Cause I don't know. It was weird. Like in a theater, like I couldn't focus on the animation because I was looking at the bottom of the screen the whole time, and it was weird.
Yeah, honestly, after the cat returns, I just want to watch all these in dub.
Yeah.
I feel like the effort is definitely there in the dub.
Oh, compared to the fucking Funimation dubs, bro, it's such disparity.
Don't bring up Funimation with me. I literally had all episodes of Tatami Galaxy downloaded, ready to go. Click on the first episode. The dude's talking. The subtitles appear like 3 seconds after. I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck? And you know how that fast they talk in that show, right?
You literally won't be able to watch it if
Exactly. I was like, I turned that shit off immediately. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way. Like,
Tatami Galaxy.
Dude's talking at light speed already.
Yeah.
And then like 3-second delayed subtitles. Like,
if I didn't watch it with the Blu-ray, I would not have watched it. I was rewinding all the fucking time. I was pausing that shit yes. And it was easy with the Blu-ray. And yeah. So
dude,
you know.
Literally that happened. I was like, oh my god. I'm not gonna make it in time. Ollie's gonna be pissed. I'm like, but I was like, he has to understand. Like, this is unnatural,
dude. I'm so happy to hear you say that because I am very sad. I am very bummed out that I didn't get to talk about it with you. But I do understand. That's why I bought the Blu-ray. Like I wasn't gonna deal with that.
I literally said this is episode. Funimation is literally dog shit, dude. It's literally dog shit. That actually be taken down, bro. I should sue Funimation, literally. I want to sue those fucking bro. No way, man. Like,
yeah, bro. I don't like it either. I don't like it either. And there are a lot of shows that are only on Funimation. You can't watch Megalobox Nomad on fucking Verve. It's really annoying. I just want to be able to rewind like 10 seconds without the fucking bitrate dropping like to holy hell. I want to be able to just I mean, I don't know. I'm frivolous with my spending, so I can buy Blu-rays whenever we watch something. But yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything else to really say about Totoro?
I don't know. I feel like because there's this YouTube I watched. He ranked all the Ghibli movies in a row. Talked about it, each one.
Who?
I don't know his name. But if you search up like Ghibli movies ranked too, like he'd be like
Shea Frillis? Is it recent?
I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Okay. There's a YouTuber named Shea Frillis that just did one like this week. And
it was him then. It was a while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, like I don't know. Everyone, it's so like it's like I know this movie. I know it's popular. I know it's big. I know everyone likes it. It's highly rated. It's on top of everything. Cause when I'm getting into Ghibli, I looked at all the movies, and eventually it got to me looking at them ranked, and all I see is Totoro 2, Totoro 1, 3, 2. Like I'm like, okay, this movie must be in really good. I feel like I just got overhyped a little. Like it's not even no one's fault. It's like my fault. But
I've seen it, and now that I
don't see what's like so like good about it. I don't see it.
I think it's the same thing with The Cat Returns. It's like a vibe.
That's what
right? Like
say.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those movies where it's like a feel, like you're supposed to feel like something while you're watching it. It's less about the narrative and it's less about plot, and it's more just about like the animals are doing things, and they're, you know, and it's like a fantastical kind of setting where like there's a bus cat and there's like a giant like fuzzy bunny, and I think it's like that. I think it's like The Cat Returns in that sense.
Nah, for sure. That's definitely what it is, right? But the cat Returns just felt way more magical. Like, don't get me wrong, like the bus cat.
Yeah.
That is like as magical as it gets, right?
Right.
But
yeah, that's true.
Totoro himself, but like the thing is, like Totoro doesn't even like show up. Like he's literally in the movie for like 6 minutes. The movie runs for like 2 hours.
And that made me question the appeal, because I remember having that same reaction. I'm like, yo, what even happened in this movie? Like what?
Literally nothing happened. Like, it's so weird. Like, The Cat Returns, you get a nice little tight knit story.
Right.
Totoro is just like, bro, like.
But with that said,
weird.
I'm not gonna sit here and like call the movie shit, because obviously I'm missing out.
I'm not calling it shit.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
Obviously, like we're missing something that everybody else is getting. That's why I want to watch it again,
That's why that's what I love to do. I love to watch a movie once, regardless of my feelings. Like I love to like watch it again in 5 years and see if like my opinion holds true. And that's what I'm gonna do. So that'll be fun.
I can't wait to hear your thing because I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt by the end of the movie, it was like comparing it to Cat Returns, like Cat Returns, like magical. It was constant magical, nice story, cute ending, and even the main character in Cat Returns like had like slight development at the end, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then with Totoro, it was like the cat. Like the girl was crying because they didn't see their mom because she was sick.
Right.
Totoro calls the cat. The cat brings them to the hospital, and then they see their mom. They just see her from afar. They're like, okay. The movie ends. I don't know. It was kind of weird, bro.
I feel like anybody.
The movie's definitely not shit though.
I know. I feel like if someone loves this fucking movie and they listen to this shit, they're gonna be hella mad watching both of us be like, I don't see what everybody likes on this shit. But I got nothing else to say, bro. I mean, I haven't seen it in like long ass time. So.
I was hoping you would like explain something to me.
Oh no, bro. What, take into account like when I saw these movies was young Allie, like so. Like a lot of my opinions would probably not be the same now. You know, if I didn't like a movie back then, there's a likely chance I might like it now. If I did like a movie back then, there's a likely chance I wouldn't like it now. So I don't know. We'll see.
Bro, I was hoping you was gonna be like, no, man. The point of Totoro is like.
I wish I could. I'm sorry. I don't have that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I watched this movie. I think I watched it when I was like 18, like right when I went to college. It was like in my first semester. And yeah, I got nothing else. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's speed it up because we got mad stuff to talk about.
Okay.
What rating?
Promare.
What rating for Totoro?
6.
Okay. Yeah. A begrudging 6. I
need to watch like a YouTube video on it. Like,
yeah.
I need to see what other people say.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Promare. Do we want to talk about Promare? Let me see.
Of course. Promare was fucking epic. One thing I noticed was fucking Gurren Lagann references.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, we can talk about Promare.
The Gurren Lagann references, like the planet-sized mechs piloted by 2 or more people.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it was 2.
Yeah.
Fucking, I know in Gurren Lagann, they were like universe-sized.
Right.
But this one was just planet-sized.
Right.
They had the drill.
Yeah.
I saw the drill, I was like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, hey.
Yeah.
See, that one before. Promare, you know, the movie screams Studio Trigger. It screams it. So it's so trigger, you know?
Yeah, it's very... Hiroyuki Imaishi is the guy who directed Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, and it really just exudes. And obviously, he's like... I think he's one of the founders of Studio Trigger, and it does scream that kind of energy. And I was excited to talk about Promare in tandem with Star Wars Visions because they did an episode. The guy who did Promare did an episode of Star Wars Visions. So it would have been cool if we could like talk about both of them. But yeah, I'm very glad you watched it. Did you watch it dubbed or subbed?
Oh, shit, dubbed.
Okay. The dub, in my opinion, is actually better than the sub. I watched the sub this time and it was, I don't know, the sub for the bad guy is kind of ass. And I was like, damn. But yeah.
Where should we start? Promare. Well, the character looks like Kamina too from fucking Gurren Lagann.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They really just made like Gurren Lagann the movie, basically. He acts like Kamina kind of too. No bullshit.
Yeah. He gave off that same energy. Blue hair, like that's just Kamina, bro.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And
When this
Fucking-
anime, go ahead.
With this shit, I was like, when it started, I didn't know shit about it.
Right.
It started, I was like, is this fucking Fire Force the movie?
Manny, I was literally just gonna say that. I was just gonna mention that when this movie came out, it came out the same season that Fire Force came out. Like when Fire Force just started airing, this movie dropped.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
so
what
fucking weird. And there was like a video game that came out, like unrelated to Fire Force and this. There was a video game called Astral Chain that was like kind of the same plot as this. It was so weird, bro. It was so weird how like all these pieces of media were just like police like doing things. It was like, what the fuck? Yeah, bad timing.
That's the thing too. I didn't want to call it a Fire Force copy because I turned on the movie. I heard human combustion. I was like, stop right there. I was like, stop. I saw it. I was like, okay. The movie came out 2019. I was like, yeah, that's probably the time when Fire Force came out. So
Right. It really
I gave
is
it the benefit of the
coincidence.
doubt.
It really is coincidence, and it is not the same experience. Like
It's
Fire Force
nowhere
is a
near.
different. They're both going for different things.
It's nowhere near.
Yeah.
The thing, that movie is so epic.
Yeah. It's very
Nice.
grand and big and epic, like you said. It has the guy who did the soundtrack is the same guy who did the soundtrack for Attack on Titan. Yeah. Hiroyuki Sawano and Kill la Kill, I believe. Yeah. But especially Attack on Titan. And you can feel it. Literally after I watched the movie, Manny, I was fucking listening to the soundtrack every single day to this day since I saw it like 2 weeks ago. The soundtrack for this movie is so fucking gangster. It's so fucking good. I love it so much. I don't I have a lot to say, but I'm just like waiting to see what you say. I love like the social commentary in this movie. Like I know it was pretty like basic, but it really resonated with me, like how they did it. And I don't know, like the movie has a lot of like analogies with like you know, segregation and you know, there's a little bit of like homo energy going on there. So I kind of interpret it. This is just me. I'm not saying that this is what it's going for. I kind of interpret it as like a movie like kind of for gay people a little bit, right? Where it's like they're not really gay, but they're kind of sus because they kiss at the end. So like when I went to go see this movie, Manny, like the theater was filled with females. Like, and when they kissed, like everyone was like, woo! Like I was like, yep, this is that kind of movie. And I like stuff like that. Even though it's not for me, I like media that does that well and is like subtle about it. And this movie is very subtle about it, you know? It's like I really like how they did it cuz it's gay, but it's like not super mega gay to the point where like you can't like enjoy it at all. It's like gay to a point where it's like I appreciate that it is gay and you did it well too, to where even if you don't like the gay shit, you can still like the movie. And I don't know, like it's not easy to do that, right? It's not easy to do, especially with like there's so many things that they do in the movie to kind of make that work. Like in the beginning of the movie, they make the Kamina like main character like there's a scene with him and the girl like on the ice rink, and there's like a small like flirty scene between them, and then it shows Leo like falling from the sky and he drops her to like look at Leo. So like it's like foreshadowing in a sense, because it's like fuck you, I'm looking at that guy, but you know obviously he doesn't mean it that way, but like it's like I kind of see it as like a little bit symbolic, and like you might find it to be cringe. It might not. Yeah, I don't know. I know it sounds cringe the way that I'm talking about it, but I like stuff like that, and I like when, you know, even if it's not for me, I like when people are getting what they want, you know, and I like when it's being done well, and I can acknowledge that. And I feel like this movie does it well. It's like Sasuke and Naruto. Like it has that same energy. Because, you know, Sasuke and Naruto kind of kiss at one point, and some people like pair them up in that way as well. Like, even though I don't interpret it that way, but yeah, I like that part of it. And that
I like the fact you brought up about the ice ring thing.
Yeah,
I like that. I did notice that. I was like, I did, but I didn't really make that connection with the ending when they kiss.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that permeates throughout the whole film. Like, all their interactions are super buddy and super like you know, like, let me help you through this, and like, let's work together. Like, when they both are in the mech together, like, they're both back to back. Like, they're fighting the main antagonist together in the mech. Like, that's literally like the thing, you know? It's like Galos's like stance, but it has like Promare Mad Burnish like armor on it. So I thought that was dope as fuck. Yeah, that was like the main thing that I like really pulled from in this movie. I felt like I loved the action. Obviously, I thought the action was great.
Yeah. How long was this movie? Like 2 hours, approximately.
I don't even think it was too.
Oh,
Yeah, it was an hour 50. It was an hour 50.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of fight scenes.
Yeah. It was a healthy. It was paced well. The movie never was boring. At least not. At least not in my opinion. Yeah, it was good. It's basically the same as Gurren Lagann, you know, like structurally. Like it's a lot of Studio Trigger anime do the thing where it's like, oh, this is a normal show about a girl who's going to a school and she has to fight a guy. Or this is a normal show about humans that live underground and have to fight like aliens. And then the fucking stakes get like mega ultra super high and like shit's going crazy and everything's going like insane. And Promare follows that exact same structure, you know? It has the exact same kind of vibe. And I like that. You know, it really does feel like it's made for people that like Gurren Lagann. And
yeah, I feel like you like Gurren Lagann, you're gonna like this one.
I would argue
I love Gurren Lagann.
I love Gurren Lagann too. And I would argue that I guess I'll speak for me, because I don't know. I think a lot of people would like this movie, but for me, I don't think I would love this movie as much as I do if I didn't like Studio Trigger and I didn't like Hiroyuki Imaishi, because I think that this movie is very truncated and very contrived in its plot in order to justify having a plot like Gurren Lagann. So it's like, oh, they're firefighters and they stop the Mad Burnish, and then out of fucking nowhere, oh yeah, well, the burnish inside our souls is a fucking alien and it's at the center of the earth, and also the earth is gonna explode, and that all happens within like one scene, and it's like, like it's a little bit too much. And in a show like Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill, it's a little bit more understandable because you have a couple episodes to develop it and it feels more naturally built up. And this, when I say it's contrived, like I don't speak hyperbole when I say that. Like, I really do feel like that shit is forced as fuck. Like the whole like ending bit, they want to have this ending have this high stakes, you know, like you said, like, you know, Gurren Lagann was on like a galactic scale. This is kind of on a galactic scale, as much as far as it can go, right? Without, you know, throwing universes at each other. But it tries to do that, and the story suffers as a result. But I'm okay with that, because I like that. I like the element. I like the fact that the movie is over the top, and it's like a celebration of Studio Trigger and Gurren Lagann and Hiroyuki Imaishi's other works. And so I'm okay. I'm okay with it being that way, but it is an issue that does detract from the movie's overall quality that I do consider like a negative. And it is something that I wanted to bring up. And I feel like that is like probably the worst element of the movie. Like, the story is stupid and not stupid in like a intentionally stupid way, like stupid to a degree where it's like, you know, like I can't take this as seriously as I take Gurren Lagann, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that was my main thing. But I mean, I feel like I'm not saying anything because there's nothing negative to really say. I like the bad guy. I thought the bad guy was cool. I like the twist of him at the end. I love like so many shots in this movie. Like there are just some shots where the camera's like, and it's like it's so cool.
I put that in my notes. The camera work is amazing.
Hiroyuki Imaishi's great at that. Like I can't recall any moments like that from Gurren Lagann, but from Kill la Kill, like there was a lot of like 3D animated segments in Kill la Kill like that too, and it really gives you a sense of the scale of the whole thing. It makes you realize like how big these fucking mechs are and how big these buildings are. My favorite fight scene in the movie is easily the one where they're in like the makeshift like city, like inside the ship, and they're fighting like with both their mechs, and they're both like screaming the names of their weapons as they like fight each other. I'm like, this is amazing. Like this is like Gurren Lagann times 12. I fucking love that scene. And the music playing during it was just Attack on. It's like it's fucking it's anime, bro. It's like Attack on Titan music with fucking studio trigger direction, and it's fantastic. It's impeccable. It's amazing. I love that one specifically. Did you ever feel like the animation and the action was too much?
No.
No? Okay. There were times where I felt like it was going. Say again?
I thought it was fine.
Okay. I felt like there were times where the animation, not really the animation, but just the way they did it, wasn't executed like properly. Not to the fault of one thing specifically. It's not the animation's fault. It's not the screenplay's fault. It's not, you know, the editing's fault. It's just kind of like they all come together and they don't really mesh well. Sometimes the editing is like too fast, but the screenplay is fine. Sometimes the animation isn't bad, but it's just hard to really discern what you're looking at when you only have 3 seconds on that shot. Sometimes I was like looking at him like, what the fuck am I supposed to, like, what? Oh, it's his arm. I didn't even realize that because it was animated differently than it was before. And then it cuts like 2 seconds later before you have time to register. So that's what I mean by too much. I think sometimes it was difficult for me to digest what was happening on screen.
Yeah.
And
that's fair. I remember when, I think it's a time, but I remember when when the dude, the villain, like when he got his arm. Yeah. His firearm. I was like, what the fuck is, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, that whole, like, after he got his arm, like, I kind of, like, got lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think also a thing with this movie, the color scheme that it chooses to use can be really confusing on the eye. Like, you don't really know what you're looking at because the movie doesn't have a defined color for the sky. It doesn't have a defined color for fire. It doesn't have a defined color for a lot of things. So
JoJo doesn't either.
JoJo doesn't either, but JoJo is not as frantic.
It's not. I was saying that's a joke,
right? Yeah,
but it's as near as like insane as like.
The reason why it works with JoJo is because JoJo emphasizes those changes when characters change in color and like the entire fucking setting like doesn't look the same and it's like inconsistent in how it looks. That is like a part of the scene, and they want you to notice that the color changed. In Promare, the general color scheme is like green and red and purple. It's like a fucking rainbow, and like everything is every color at every fucking interval. So like it's really confusing when a character or like a thing that was red at one point is now green in this scene, and you just can't really, you're like, what am I looking at? Oh, that's the dude's arm that was like a different color before. My dog is barking, but give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I that was something that I wanted to say. I felt like that was a bit overwhelming as I was watching it sometimes. Yeah. But like at the end of the day, I really do like the main characters. I really like Leo. I really like the Mad Burnish. I love his introduction. I think his introduction is badass. When he like fucking builds the chair and then he's like, I thought that shit was OD. Fucking. It's a lot of good moments.
These movies, they don't go for like, like intricate, like deep plots or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
The movies, they're kind of predictable.
Yeah.
But like,
but that's okay.
Like, like for a movie like this,
mm-hmm.
that's definitely okay.
Yeah.
I knew you can tell off. I can tell off for. I don't know if you did that the blonde guy was gonna be a villain. Like,
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, his character design screams bad guy.
Yeah, it's obvious. Like I don't, and like that scene where there's like, he was like, I never fucking liked you or I fucking wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
And like Gallo, right?
Yeah.
Gallo's like, I'm like.
Yeah. The movie was extremely predictable, but I think the movie is aware of that. At least I felt like it was.
I don't know, because I don't know if they expected me to be like, oh my god, he didn't save Gallo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think
there was supposed to be some shock as to just how mean he was. Like, people knew that he was a bad guy, but you thought like, oh, he's a bad guy because he wants to save Earth and he's like, gonna kill a bunch of people and and that's why he's a bad guy. But then when you realize, no, I fucking hate you, bro. I fucking hate you. Like, I never cared about you ever. Like, I think that's why it was supposed to be a surprise. Like,
that dude's crazy.
I know. One of my favorite shots in the entire movie. I guess this is what the conversation will boil down to, because it's like the main thing of the movie. One of my favorite shots in Promare was when like he's in his ship and then the lights turn off. No, he's in his ship. The camera moves to his face like right here, and then the lights turn off, and then his eyes open like. And they turn red, like with the lights off. That's just like one shot that I like really noticed and like really resonated with me, and I thought was awesome.
Yeah, I really like when Leo transformed.
Yeah, that shit was OD. I love that.
I replayed that shit like 2 times.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of my favorite. Go ahead.
Blew up, like, he's in a volcano. And...
Yeah. Oh, when Leo was in the volcano and he like turned into the dragon. Okay, I thought you meant when like the mech, when they like built their mech at the end.
No. Yeah.
That was probably the best scene in the movie.
That was like, sick.
Yeah. It was
I saw that scene. That scene. The thing is too, when I was watching, I was like, this type of scene. This is like the end of the movie type of scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
right.
This type of scene would happen at the end of a movie, but that was like mid movie. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
This much time left.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how, like, even though Gallo is trying to take down the blonde dude, the villain. Leo's trying to take down the villain, but Leo was like, I'm gonna burn down, burning random shit down, buildings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Gallo was like, yeah, even though we're on the same side, I'm not gonna let you rocket that. So he came in, baby.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, I was like, yeah, that was kind of fire.
Yeah. I love when he goes to the bat, like Cray Forsyth. I love when he goes to Forsyth's like building and he's like about to like throw fire at him, and the camera is like swirling around the building as he's swirling around the building, and then like it closes up on Cray Forsyth, and then his hand like starts to do the burnish thing, and he's like, all right, bring it on, and then Gallows comes in, and then like that whole segment, that was like there's just so many shots like that I like so many sequences that I'm like, that was a well done shot. Like you thought that out. You thought to like execute it in that way, and you executed it very well. I just noticed a lot of points like that, and there's a lot of visuals that really stick into my mind with this movie. Yeah, and that's kind of what it's aiming for, right? You said it's not like a plot heavy movie, and it really isn't. It just has fun, likable characters that you empathize with, a basic premise, and just over the top action. And it doesn't skimp out ever. There's never a point where you're like, oh well, I guess they couldn't afford that one, right? Like like it was constant, like, yo, this movie's crazy. Like, it's never really taken a break, and I liked it. Yeah.
You know, like these movies like this, they get a pass on the plot side because it's so over the top.
I think when it comes to movies or any medium, right, or especially movies as an art form, it's all about intent. What are you trying to do, and how well are you doing the thing that you're trying to do? It's not inherently bad for a movie to be just like a fun, over-the-top action movie. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do it well, though. Like, you can do it really, really well. And you can do it kind of like not so well, right? You know? And Promare does a decent job at what it's going for, because it just has a really good director and a really nice art style, and you know, really fun characters. I feel like I'm just a broken record. I don't know. I feel like this conversation is being kind of stretched thin. I don't really have much more to say. It's Promare.
Let me see. I fucking wrote down that scene where Gallows captain and the other dude, the Freeze Force captain, fucking like crashed their cars, but brushed it through the windshield and butted heads. I was like, that scene was like, what? I replayed it. I was like, damn.
Wait.
It was so random, but it was like so fire.
They
literally just driving, crashed their cars together.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Head first through the windshield and like headbutted each other.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, what the fuck?
I know.
This is so fire. It's so fire.
Yeah, it was over the top and cool and goofy. Yeah, I love Promare. It's good.
Promare is a fun watch. You know, one thing I was thinking about when I finished it, I was like, what if this was an anime? How would it would be compared to like Fire Force, you know?
Compared to Fire Force, it would be basically Gurren Lagann. It would be more Gurren Lagann than Fire Force, in my opinion. Right?
I think
it follows the structure, and it has more of like the essence and energy of something like Gurren Lagann than something like Fire Force. Even though it has the premise of Fire Force, like you said, this movie's not really about the plot. It's more about like the giant fight scenes. Fire Force does kind of seem more like it's about its concept and and its characters and stuff, and the premise of, you know, putting out fires. This movie's more interested in you know, turning into a giant robot. Yeah, but yeah, if it was a TV show, I wonder if it would be better or worse. That would be an interesting question.
That's what I was trying to. That's what I was thinking about.
It being a movie definitely showed that it had some flaws, especially when put next to Gurren Lagann. Like, this is something that I wanted, like, at least for me, this is something that I don't think I would like that much if I wasn't a big fan of Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill, because I think it's very reliant on your love for like Studio Trigger and Hiroyuki Imaishi. Otherwise, the story is kind of whatever, and the action is. These are not the best action scenes in like their catalog, in my personal opinion. Like, when I think of like, because I've seen like almost all their stuff. I've seen Panty and Stalking. I don't know if you know what that is, but like that's also Studio Trigger, and that show has some fucking OD fight scenes. And I just think about that, and I think about Kill la Kill, and I'm just like, those are better. And maybe they're better because they're anime and they have to be longer and they have to kind of, do a lot more like interesting things to kind of make it more interesting. But I'll never forget the fight with like Ryuko and whatever the other person's name is, Satsuki. I remember their first fight, like at the school. I remember that shit was so well choreographed and it just had like all these really fun beats, And there were a lot of moments in Promare where it just kind of felt like really quick and like, oh, like that was fast, Compare that shit to a fight in Kill la Kill that's like 10 minutes long. This fight was like 5 minutes long,
Yeah, like the first fight between Gallo and Leo.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah. It's a fun little bite-sized celebration of Studio Trigger, but it doesn't come close to Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill or any of their other works, for that matter. And yeah, at least Hiroyuki Imaishi, in my opinion. At least it doesn't come close to any of his other stuff that focuses on being like action oriented and like story driven. Yeah. That's all I got to say about Promare. I guess, don't really have a lot of negative things to say. But yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm going to give,
I give it probably like a 7.4.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give Promare a 6 out of 10. I liked it. I do think it could have been better in many ways. So I'm going to give it a 6. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. All right. Next thing.
Talk about Tokyo Revengers real quick.
Okay, we can talk about Tokyo Revengers. Okay, well, I guess since I only watched one episode, I'll give my opinion on the one episode I watched. The show, I'll just put it blunt. The show is ugly. It's a very ugly show. And that's why I didn't watch it. And I want to really like drive this point that I want to make. It's not the animation. I think a lot of people will immediately just say like the animation is bad, and the animation is bad in this show, but that's not why I don't like it. I don't like it just because of the animation. I don't like it because of the overall presentation. The overall way this show presents itself through its art style and its directing and its music and just like how it chooses to edit itself together and stuff. Every aspect of this show is weak. Every single aspect visually, in terms of its presentation, not just visually, just everything. The soundtrack is like the most generic, like anime shit, right? Like there's nothing unique about it. There's nothing cool about it. There's nothing unique about its direction or anything like that. And I know what you're thinking, like, Ali, not every series can be like Mononoke. I'm not asking for this to be like Mononoke. I'm not asking for this to be like Mononoke. I'm asking for it to be like My Hero Academia, right? It's not the most artistically brazen series in the world, but it has a unique soundtrack. It has clever art like character design, right? It has like, a certain color palette to where it separates itself from the crowd. It has good animation, right? And even an example that strengthens my point even more, Black Clover. Black Clover is not an amazing show, but that show looks better than Tokyo Revengers. Does it have good animation? Most of the time, no. But it has good character design, and you like looking at the characters, and you like seeing them on screen, right? And you don't dislike looking at the worlds. You don't dislike like viewing this universe. Tokyo Revengers, I don't enjoy looking at any of the characters. I don't enjoy looking at the background. I don't enjoy seeing how they cut it together. It's such a like it's the bottom of the barrel for anime production. It's like bargain bin shit. It's shit that you'd find at Walmart. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to to poop on your party. But
You're not pooping on my party.
Okay. I was trying to figure out how to say it in a nicer way. But with all that said, I can understand why someone likes this, right? And if you're somebody that like can put up with that and can tolerate like this style of presentation, it's not that it's bad. It's not that it's done poorly. It's just boring. It's just a boring fucking. It's just bland. It's just like it's like a cracker with no salt. That's what this show is, you know. I just can't do that. And a lot of people don't care. A lot of people don't really care about that. And it's like, okay, like that's all right. Like, you know, you do you, like you do your thing. But I genuinely don't even think that this show is like adapting the manga well, right? Like I'm not even criticizing like, oh, the characters look stupid. I think the characters look cool. Like the actual design of the characters and like what they're wearing and their hair. I like how all the characters look. But the way the show adapts them for the anime, they make it look worse. It looks worse than the manga. Like you look at a drawing of the dude and then you look at him in anime form and it's like, how did you fuck that up? And it's so difficult to describe, but the character design specifically for the anime is bad. Not in general, right? And when I say character design, I don't mean the clothes that they're wearing and the hair that they have. I don't mean those basic things. I mean, how do you draw them in the show? How do you approach this character every single time you draw him? And the way they approach it is that they just don't put emphasis on anything. Nothing has deep line work in it. Nothing gets like, you know, emphasized, and like the proportions always feel off. It always feels like his head is bigger than his body, like way too much.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, it's a very ugly show, and I don't like to be mean like that because once again, it's not about the animation. Your show can have dog shit animation and can still be pretty fun. Black Clover is watchable. You can like, it's not like it's not the worst show ever made, like, you know? And that show doesn't have great animation. So it's just ugly. And it was even more frustrating because I kind of liked the story. I was like, damn, bro, this story is kind of enticing and I want to continue this, but I just can't put up with this animation and this presentation. So that's what I wanted to say about it. And I wanted to kind of present that argument because I wanted to go in detail about that because I feel like a lot of people will just be like, the animation's bad, but it's not about animation. It's about so much more. And this show fails in like every department, basically, not just in terms of animation. So yeah, but the story actually seemed pretty cool. And I wanted you to just spoil the story for me, like you did, like Banana Fish and stuff. So I'm never going to watch the show. So tell me everything.
Well, the thing is, watching this show weekly, it's so much better weekly because like every episode is like a cliffhanger, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like every episode is a cliffhanger. And fucking
right. I was tempted to click on the second episode. I was like, damn, like this seems fun, but
they get you. Like these guys are good with cliffhangers.
Okay.
Fucking
yeah, it seems fun. In my opinion, I also was thinking about that, Manny. I was also thinking about that while watching like shows. Your show should be good to binge. It can be good weekly, but if your show is not good to binge, then like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? It's like, like if you have a masterpiece movie, but the movie's only good if you take a break halfway through, then is it really a masterpiece movie if the intended experience is to sit through the whole thing? Like when I watch a show, like you're making the show as one complete unit, right? It's one story. It's supposed to be experienced as a whole, right? If you want to experience it weekly, that's fine. But let's say I buy a DVD and I want to watch it back to back on the DVD. If it's bad in that experience, then, you know, so like, If it's only fun because you're watching it weekly, then is it like really good? That's what I've been thinking recently.
I don't fucking know, to be honest.
Not to say that your enjoyment is invalidated. I'm not trying to like do that, but I'm trying to say like you can't judge a show like as you would if you were watching it weekly, as you would if you were binging it. Like if you binge something, you might feel differently because of the experience of watching it all together than watching it over the course of like I hated My Hero Academia weekly, but I might have enjoyed it if I binged it because it didn't have good cliffhangers and it didn't give me a reason to watch the next episode. But if I was binging that shit and I was banging them out back to back, maybe I wouldn't hate it that much, you know? So I don't know. Yeah. But I just wanted to bring that up. Sorry. You can go.
Like good. The thing is, the Tokyo Revengers as well. It came out on such a dry season.
Mm-hmm. Really? It seems like it's the fucking talk of the town. Everybody talks about this goddamn show. All my friends are watching it.
Yeah, everyone's watching it.
Yeah.
But what really helped this is like literally nothing else came out this season.
Yeah.
It was My Hero, Tokyo Revengers. You had other shows like Sonny Boy.
But most people.
Yeah, no one's.
That's not like mainstream.
No one knows what that is. The other show probably like the case studies of Venice,
Right.
but
Yeah.
But honestly, like the season, like last season, that season was incredibly weak,
Mm-hmm.
very weak. And it came off such a good season. Like we had amazing winter, right, or spring. We had a great spring, and then this one was just so ass.
Yeah, right.
But Tokyo Revengers was that one show that came out. Like really, like it was really I didn't hear anything about it. I was like a few episodes in, and then it like blew up, and then everyone was like, "That was the anime of the season," because nothing else. And that was just the talk of the town.
So
You know
are you saying that? I'm
saying that helped it.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
For sure,
Gotcha.
it literally had no competition.
Do you feel like if it had competition, it would be as popular as it is? Like, let's say it was a hot season and this came out during that season. Like, let's say there were 3 shows that were like really good, and it was like, oh, and also Tokyo Revengers. Do you think people would even?
It would be like a cherry on top. It wouldn't be like, you know.
Okay. Yeah, because I question that, you know, like when you hear that Aquaman was like the highest selling movie of like that year, it was like you were the only movie that came out during Christmas time. That's why, you know, like Tokyo Revengers sounds like one of those situations where it's like people only love it as much as they do because it's the only fucking thing. Or maybe that's just my perspective because it's the only thing I hear about, and I'm just assuming that people like this more than other things when really there are just no other things to talk about. So yeah,
that's what I feel the case was. Nothing to talk about. Also, the show really caters to casuals, to be honest.
The show carries the casuals.
No, it caters to casuals.
Oh yeah, I could immediately tell, and I was like, if this is a casual show, you gotta take the extra mile in terms of like presentation. Like My Hero Academia is a show that caters towards casuals, but it has a nice soundtrack. It has, you know, a really like, you know, bubbly character design. Like it's trying, right? Like it's attempting like to be like unique a little bit. Even Black Clover, the one that people say is derivative of Naruto and Fairy Tail, even that's a little unique. Even that has characters that are like somewhat, you know, have some personality. But yeah.
Tokyo Revengers really had so much.
But the story seemed good, so I mean, did you like that?
I think the story is. I think it's fun. It's
yeah.
fun.
So tell me about it. I'm genuinely excited because I liked the first episode.
Because honestly, what the show keeps you on your toes.
Mm-hmm.
The show the show is unpredictable.
Okay.
I give it that. The show is unpredictable at times.
That's. I'm sorry for keeping cutting you off, but like I've been thinking about My Hero Academia because I'm like caught up now, and the reason why My Hero stopped being kind of fun was because it got predictable. Like season 1 and season 2 were so unpredictable because there were so many pieces, so many like pieces on the board that you were like, where is this going to go? What's going to happen with this guy? What's going to happen with these two's relationship? And now kind of all of those things are resolved or put on the back burner in My Hero, and you still love the characters and the story is still going somewhere, but like it's very predictable. So yeah.
I feel you.
So that's a good thing for Tokyo Revengers. Like, I'm glad to hear that.
It is unpredictable, dude.
Yeah.
Like the fucking, I'm gonna go into it. Like first episodes, I remember. First episodes, fucking, goes back, the gang stuff.
Yeah, he goes back, he sees the gang, and then he's like, "Oh, I can change the future, and I can save my girlfriend because I peaked in middle school." Yeah.
He fucking, eventually joined. He becomes friends with like the leader.
Mm-hmm. That's dope.
Becomes friends with the leader.
I feel like if I understood the culture of like Japanese like this more, I would like it way more. Like I just genuinely don't understand like this culture and like why these people dress like this and what they do and like how they act. It's so alien to me.
It is alien.
Yeah.
Another thing, there is no guns too.
I know, and now that you've said that, now that I have that context, it's like that's why they don't use guns in those shows, because they're gangsters. It's like, where's your peace?
not in Japan,
but
bro.
that's actually cool. That makes it more creative. That forces them to like get more interesting with it. That's dope. I actually like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he joins. He's like, at first he's friends with the leaders, but he's not in the gang yet. He's just like, he's like a dude that always comes in clutch because he knows the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah.
A little down the season, he goes back to the future, and like, he does something in the past that like it would change the future, and he's like, oh,
yeah.
So like, one of the leaders is supposed to die. He gets stabbed,
right,
and dies.
Mm-hmm.
And like he prevents it. He gets stabbed, but he doesn't die. He prevents it. He prevents from dying. He goes back to the future. He's like, oh, since I saved them, everything should be good now. And then it's like, he goes back. He goes to the future. Then like the girl is alive. So, like, oh, we did it. And then the girl dies when he's there.
Oh my god, that sucks.
But then you find out the person who killed his girl was his boy. Like his day one. His day ones.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
This is where the unpredictable shit comes. Like no one saw that shit coming.
That sounds like really good writing. That's actually really cool.
Honestly, like this is what I mean. Like watching it weekly made it even better because like
right, because you have to wait. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love
so, like,
I do enjoy the cliffhangers.
Yeah, so like you see his boy like literally like the dude with the fucking.
They all kind of look like JoJo characters, no bullshit.
The dude with the fucking pompadour.
The main guy. The one with the yellow hair?
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
That's not a pompadour.
Oh.
He has like maroon hair.
Okay. I don't really know, but okay.
Yeah, but one of those like the one of the dudes who always get beat up. His little fucking loser friend. Yeah. One of them kills his girl, and he's like, "I'm sorry, bro." Blah blah blah. The gang, family, right? And then fucking the main character's like, "What the fuck?" And then like you go talk to his girl before she dies. The car blows up. He's like, "I gotta go back to the past." He shakes the dude's hand, goes back. And then,
how does he go back to the past? Do they establish that?
They didn't really establish it. He just shakes the younger brother of the girl.
Okay.
They shake his hand. Once he touches his hand, they go back and forth.
Really? That's just how it happens every single time?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay,
so you would have to shake the younger version to go to the future, and you have to shake the older version to go back.
That's very Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been explained yet, but it probably
Okay.
will.
Well, I mean, when I asked how they established it, like, just meant like, is there a way they do it? Because in
Oh, yeah,
episode
yeah.
1, it's insinuated that he doesn't know how he got back in the past, like, and erased. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how then fucking he saves that dude. That dude he saved fucking in the future ends up going to jail for life. He goes to the future, he talks to him, he talks to him like in jail.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, what happened 12 years ago? And he's like, dude, fucking for no reason, absolutely no reason, the dude who's in jail, he's so vague, like he's extremely vague. He's like, you'd be like, imagine you talking to me, like, man, you fucking, what happened 12 years ago? Remember with the gang? What happened? He's like, yeah, I remember. It was crazy. and then he's like, yeah.
This sounds terrible.
You're like, imagine you're the dude. You're like, man, how did Brendan die 12 years ago in high school? I'm like, Brendan. Oh, damn. And then he's like, well, my time's up. I gotta go. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Fucked up. That's so fucked up.
He's
That's
like,
really annoying. That would piss me off.
It pissed me off as a viewer. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah. That's
But
bullshit.
It's whatever. Then he goes back. He tells him some info. He's like, the dude's like, yeah, Mike. He's like, Mike, you know Mikey, right? Did you see Mikey yet? Nah, he doesn't pull up in the first episode.
Okay.
Mikey's
I can look them up.
Yeah, Mikey's the gang. He says like Mikey, they get in a war with a different gang, and he's like, this dude dies this time, and then the main character saves it again. It's not really like the first time. The way I'm talking about makes it sound like it, but he saves that dude. Then he goes back, and then he goes back to the future, and then that dude's still in jail. And he's like, yeah, Mikey is gonna kill someone at this next gang fight, and that's when like everything got fucked up. He goes back in time. And the thing is too, like, I know I'm like speedrunning it, but like it's interesting to see how this like fucking no power loser weak dude can like finesse the situation to see how it works.
Right.
So he finessed it, and then like he finessed it again, and then like this is kind of near the end of this season. He fucking saves he saves the day again, and then he goes to the future, see how things are. Then, but backtracking a little before that, he already determined. He's like, I'm gonna become the leader of this gang. He kind of figured like I'm gonna become the leader, and that's the only way I'm gonna save this girl. Right? So he'd be like, I'm gonna become the leader, and that was a big moment in the show. It was kind of cool to see. He's like, I'm gonna become the, you see his determination, even though he's like a loser and whatever.
Right.
Then like he goes to the future, and then in this future, he is a leader in the gang. He's rich, like. He goes to the future. He's like wearing designer suits. He's like rich as fuck.
Oh shit!
People are like saluting him. He's like an executive, like top member of the gang, right?
Whoa!
And he sees all the other people like when he was younger, also the leaders and shit. And he's like wonder how he got here. And he's like, blah 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 blah. He's like, this could be. He was actually thinking like this could be a good life. Like he's like loving the gang leader lifestyle. And then fucking one of the villains of the show that somehow infiltrated the gang. He's in the gang now, and he knows he's the bad guy, right? And he's trying to get him out the gang, but it doesn't work. And the villain fucking was like, 12 years ago, I fucking killed your boy. Like he's like, the villain's like, yeah, I kind of manipulated the situation and got your boy killed 12 years ago. And you see it like happen. And then he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that, blah, blah, blah. I know y'all still mad about it 12 years later. And he's like, oh, we're good, right? The villain poisoned his drink. And then fucking, it's crazy. This is like the last episode. And
okay.
Him and his boy are like tied up in seats. The villain has a gun in Japan. And he fucking kills his boy, like blasts him. I was like, This is the unpredictable shit.
Right.
It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
Because he's still in the future.
Yeah.
Then like the season ended with him like racking the pistol back and shooting the main character.
Right.
You don't see it's like you hear the gunshot, then it turns black. The season's over. But honestly, like the show's unpredictable. Like it is unpredictable.
It sounds very fun. I would be interested in checking out the manga because I checked out the manga. I always do that to see like, okay, hold on, like it is the show shit or is the manga shit? And the manga was like, I really liked looking at the manga. I liked like the few chapters that I read. I'm like, I fuck with this. Like I could read this if I really wanted to, but I wasn't trying to like buy any volumes. It wasn't on like a service, like a subscription thing. So I was just like, fuck it. And it was long, bro. Like the amount of content they cover in the anime, I think is like 8 volumes of the manga. It was a lot. It was a fucking lot. Yeah. So, you know.
Yeah, I think I don't know if this is true. I've seen it somewhere. They said the mangaka was part of a gang too. So I guess he got some.
That's really cool. Yeah. That's usually how manga work. It's usually like, you know, based on people's personal lives and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
So, but I think that it was a fun watch.
It sounds fun.
It was the best show of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, he got super popular.
I know. Someone at my job was telling me about it. Like someone I work with was like, "Yo, you're an anime guy." I'm like, "Yeah." Do you watch Tokyo Revengers? And I'm like, "No, I haven't. I'm gonna watch it pretty soon." And then I did. And then I dropped it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like you just don't know. You don't know what's going on. Like,
yeah.
You think everything's good and it's not.
I value stories like that. I value, you know, Steins Gate, man. Attack on Titan. Like those are your favorite shows, right? Like those are both shows like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was cool. Honestly, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I'm not going to give it a rating because I watched 1 episode, but what would you give it as a rating?
Somewhere in the 7s.
Nice.
I don't know. Probably like 7.3.
Mm-hmm. Dope.
But like, I feel like the next season can really like. I feel like the show can really like go up.
Yeah, it looks like it could go up, and you know it doesn't cost any money to make because it looks like dog shit. So it'll probably be out sooner than you think.
Yeah, I feel like seeing his journey to the top, like
will be
top
fun.
of the game.
Yeah.
Be fun.
Okay. Well, what next? We talked about Promare.
Oh, Deca-Dence.
Do you want to do Deca-Dence now? Is there nothing else? Yeah. I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. Oh, I have Ghost in the Shell and Batman Ninja. Do you want to save Deca-Dence for last, or do you want to do Batman Ninja last? Or do you even want to do Ghost in the Shell? Do you even want to talk about that?
No, you can.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah, bro. I watched it years ago too, and have you seen the anime, like Standalone Complex?
No.
Oh, bro. The anime is so good. The anime is kind of episodic in nature. So like imagine if like the movie is about like Section 9 and like this group of police like officers and them just doing this one case. That's like what the movie's about. But basically every episode in the show is like its own case, and then there is like an overarching case that like is going on throughout the entire series, like kind of Cowboy Bebop style, and then it crescendos in like the final episodes, and it's really fun. Like I think it's probably like one of my favorite anime. Like it's just as thoughtful and creative as the movie. And Manny, bro, oh my god, when I watch this movie, it's like a genuinely great movie. Like it's not good for anime. It's good in general. People who don't like anime like this fucking movie. Like it's like Akira. It like transcends like the anime boundary. Like people like it regardless of the fact that it's anime. And And for good reason. It's so thoughtful. It's like on par with Blade Runner in terms of like what it's saying and like how it's presenting what it's trying to say. It basically questions like what it means to be alive, like when you don't have a body or when you know, don't even really have a brain, right? Like it's in this future where like the main character doesn't really have her own body. She's a ghost in the shell. Like she's not, you know, she's like a fucking she's like a brain basically, or it's like her consciousness in a random fucking body. That's why at the end of the movie when she dies, they just put her in like a new body and like, you know, it's still her. But like
yeah, and like the
puppet
I watched
master.
Ghost in the Shell 2 as well. I don't know if it's that one, but like the villain or the bad guy, whatever, he had like a little monologue at the end.
The monologue was fucking amazing, bro. It's like one of the best. The monologue that he has when he first introduces himself is like the most goated shit in the fucking world. I will pace at night, Manny, thinking about how I'm going to explain this speech to you. It's so intricate and complex, and it's so short. It's not even that long. It's like I don't even think it's 2 minutes long. Like the dude, so the puppet master is like an AI. They find out that it's like it's not like a human being. It's like something that was created as a byproduct of the internet. And but he has the power to like infiltrate bodies and stuff because bodies are artificial in this universe, right? Makoto's body is not really like a real body. It's like a robot body kind of. So he goes into this like robot body and then he just like leaves the facility and then like he wakes up and he's like, I'm the puppet master. I've been doing this shit all along. And then he literally is like, I request like asylum in this country. Like I like acting as if he's like an individual. And it's like, bro, you're a fucking like you're an AI. You can't ask for that. He's like, and then he goes on a speech about like why his like what makes him alive versus what makes them alive. And he's like what defines life is the experiences that you get. That's the most that's the most basic way I can put like his speech into like words that I can decipher. Basically, he's saying that life is defined by memories and it's defined by who you are. Makoto is defined by her experiences and her life, right? She takes her consciousness, her memories, and you put it in a new person. If you wipe her memories away, she's literally not the same person. She's literally a different person, right? You're taking that away. And if you remember in Ghost in the Shell, there's the scene where the guy gets his mind wiped, like his memory, like he thought he had a family. So it's like he has this like existential crisis. He's like, bro, I thought I had a family. And it's like, bro, no, like someone just hacked into your brain. It's like, how do you erase that? And it's like, bro, we can't really like it'll always be there. You'll always remember it. And like, we can't really do anything about it. And the robot goes on like a speech on like how, you know, humans should have been more thoughtful before they like made memories like tangible that could be fucked with. Like you did this, like you, as computers advance, like you did this to yourself. And it's like, well, and they're like, well, you're not alive. You're not a real person. And he's like, I am memories. I am memories just as much as your memories. I was born in a sea of information. You were born in a sea of information. Your genes, your DNA is just information. That's all it is. It's just a line of code. The species, right? Like specific species, dogs, rats, cats, humans. That's just a specific memory. And you evolve and you change through evolution, and those are new memories forming. That's all that is. And like that perspective just, I was like, whoa! Oh my God. And he's just like justifying his existence in this movie. And then at the end of the movie, he talks to Makoto, and he like talks to her about like like why he needs to live on and like what purpose he has. And I watched it in the theater and I didn't take notes and I didn't watch any YouTube videos, so I'm not really going to go on it any longer than that. But Manny, this movie is so much better than when I watched it the first time. I watched this movie when I was in high school and I was like, oh, it's, you know, it had cool animation. This is one of like, this is a fucking amazing movie. It's on the level of a care. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. You have to watch it. It's so fun. You have to, and it's so short, bro. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. And despite the fact that it's like this philosophical head turning thing, it's like, it's very paced well. Like it's still like a cop mystery thriller, like kind of movie, despite everything I'm saying, you know? And it's like, you know, it's fast, you know, by the time it's over, you're like, damn, that went by quick. It's just a good movie. And there's like some action in it, you know, and it's solid. It's solid as fuck.
That movie's incredible.
Manny, I was just thinking all the time, like Manny would love this. We always talk about movies that make you think. This movie has made me think harder than I've ever thought, ever. I love when movies literally change my brain. My brain has changed from watching this movie for the better. I have grown. I've leveled up. I leveled up mentally after watching this fucking movie. And the soundtrack, it's so good. That's it. I'm done. That's all I gotta say.
Honestly, that movie is spectacular. To be honest.
I can't even go into it because I don't even fully understand like how to articulate it because I don't fully understand everything. But now that I'm older, I'm just so glad that I can appreciate it because I there are things that I just didn't even get when I was a kid, like about like the lingo they were using and stuff.
For sure. Honestly, I wish like I want to watch that movie with you. We both just like trip and we watched the second one too.
I've never seen the second one. I've never seen Ghost in the Shell. No, because I don't know. It has like bad reviews, and I'm just like, oh.
I liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out because everyone's seen it. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of Ghost in the Shell. Like I've seen there's like an OVA series, like a series that is like an OVA, kind of like the Rurouni Kenshin OVA where it's like its own thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is.
Did I remind you of a good thing?
Did you see the Alexander video
of Rurouni Kenshin?
That OVA is like, dude.
I'll watch it.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'll watch it. But then there was so there's a lot of Ghost in the Shell media, and I've seen a lot of it. I've seen Standalone Complex. I've seen the movie. I've seen the Arise OVA. I've seen the Arise movie. I've seen the live action. Have you seen the live action one with ScarJo? It's funny. You should just watch it, bro, just to gain perspective on how Hollywood sucks and how bad they are. They're bad. So bad. Such a bad movie.
I was scared to watch that movie.
You should be. You should
afraid.
be. So it's disrespectful in like it's like, I don't know. I consider it more disrespectful than Dragon Ball Evolution because it tries to just use similar imagery to like get you like excited, like, oh look, it's the scene where like her arm rips off. Isn't that cool? And it's like, no. It looks like dog shit. It looks like fucking ass. It doesn't look cool at all. Oh, look, ScarJo kicked the guy like in the water. Like, remember when she kicked the other guy in the water in like the original? And it's like, yeah, it looks like shit in here because ScarJo looks fat.
Does she look fat?
It's not really her fault because she's not like a fat person, but like it doesn't. Anybody wearing a full bodysuit like that, anyone would look weird, you know? So it just looks funny as hell on her because she just doesn't have like an anime hourglass figure. No one does. So, you know, I was making a joke, but ScarJo ain't fat. At least not in a bad way. Bow chicka bow wow.
Nah, honestly, I like when that movie, man.
Yeah, it's good, Manny. I can't really say anything else about it. That's all I got, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. So I would give it a 9 out of 10. Like, I love that movie. I don't give nines that much, Manny, but when I do, whew, it lifts my spirits. I wasn't even expecting to like it that much. I was just going in like, whatever. So good. Great movie.
Yeah. What up? You on Batman Ninja?
Do you want to do Deca-Dence or Batman Ninja? Up to you.
Let's do Batman Ninja.
Do you want to talk about My Hero? Do you give a fuck?
I didn't finish it. So.
I mean, what was the last? I mean, you're. Oh wait, they changed the order, didn't they? They're doing like the villain shit after the Endeavor shit.
Yeah.
So did you finish the villain shit?
No.
Okay. I mean, that's kind of the only thing I would want to talk about, really. So.
Shigaraki and all that dumb shit.
Yeah. All right. So Batman Ninja?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really excited to talk about this because watching this was an experience. So you said you wanted to squeeze in Ocean Waves. This was my squeeze in. I was like, I got a little bit of time. Let me see if I could watch one more movie. And then I was trying to watch this movie and I was like, because I bought HBO Max to watch something else, like unrelated to our thing. I was trying to watch something on HBO Max, and because I bought it again, I was like, let me watch some anime that are on HBO Max, like right now, just because I have it. And I wanted to watch Batman Ninja because I knew it was on HBO Max. The Batman Ninja on HBO Max is only in English, and I was like, okay, I kind of want to watch it in Japanese. It wasn't in Japanese on HBO Max. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to rent it on YouTube. Fuck it. I rented it on YouTube. It was only in English on YouTube. Like when you rent the movie, when you go to the movie on Google, like YouTube Google, it only shows the English version. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why can't I find this Japanese version? And after like digging and looking for the fucking Japanese version, it is only on Amazon Prime. And the way they did it on Amazon Prime is that it has the English and Japanese version play back to back. So the movie's like an hour and a half long, right? It's like an hour and 20 minutes. And when you buy the movie when you rent it, the runtime says 2 hours and 50 minutes because they play the English version and then they play the Japanese version right after. And I'm like, why do they do that? Why can't I just switch the language? The reason why they do that is because the English version literally changes the pace of the movie. They straight up rewrote the script. Like, if you watch the English version and you watch the Japanese version, you're quite literally watching two different movies. Because the Japanese version, according to Warner Brothers and like the English, the Western market, the people like who are producing, who are like people who own Batman and stuff, they were like, this movie would not do well in America. Like, it takes some liberties that I don't think Batman fans would like. So when we do our English dub, let's kind of try to rewrite things so that it can have more of a cohesive plot that people can empathize with and make sense. And so that it can have more of like, character driven like narratives that you empathize with because they're speaking English and like, you can, really invest yourself in the voice acting and blah, 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 blah. Right. And I was looking up and like people on Reddit were like, yeah, they changed 90% of the script. Like 90% of the script is is different. It is ultimately the same story, but like they're changing it in kind of major ways. Like, and when you watch the English and the Japanese back to back, the dialogue is straight up different. The stuff that they say in the English version is not what they say in the Japanese version, and it's very interesting. And so I finally was able to watch the movie after like spending all this fucking money. And then I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I skipped and I watched the Japanese version, and it was amazing. It was actually awesome. It exceeded my expectations. I didn't have high expectations, but it really lived up to them. The movie it knew what it was. It's Batman in Japan. It boils down to that basic statement. It's Batman in Japan, and he's doing Batman things in Japan. And it doesn't try to take itself too seriously. It doesn't try to pretend like, it doesn't try to create, like you said about Promare, it's not really about the plot. It's about like, you know, the fan service, and it's about the action. And that's what Batman Ninja was about. It was like, we're going to give you Batman fan service. We're going to show you these characters in feudal Japan, you know, doing their Batman things, but they're going to be in feudal Japan, and they're going to do the Batman things that they always do, but with a Japanese like twist. And I loved it. And it was, for like a movie, it was so well paced. It was so well paced. It never got boring. It was never bad. And the reason why I watched Batman Ninja specifically was because the first episode of Star Wars Visions was made by the same guys who did Batman Ninja. The guy who did the character design for Star Wars Visions, like that one episode that you haven't seen, is the guy who created Afro Samurai. And that guy who created Afro Samurai and did the character design on Afro Samurai did the character design on Batman Ninja. And he also did the character design on that Star Wars thing where it's like a samurai holding a lightsaber, right? Right. And the dude is just really, really, really good at drawing samurai. And like, you know, like just giant suits of armor and just like a wavy hair, just really complex designs that are very nice to look at. And like all the Batman characters with like the Japanese flair. I love the Red Hood. I love the like thing that he wears. That shit, so good. He looks so fucking cool. He looks awesome. I love the Joker. I think the Joker looks awesome in this movie. Yeah, I love all of Batman's like different costumes. I love Sengoku Batman. I think he looks like amazing when he's wearing like his full suit of armor. Yeah, and I'm just really passionate about like his character designs. I think his character designs really sold me in the Star Wars episode, and that's why I watched this. And I was like, dude, I love looking at this fucking movie. And the people who animated the Star Wars Visions episode also animated this movie. And the people who animated this movie, the studio, is the same people who did the JoJo openings, Manny. Yeah. So the people who did like the CGI JoJo openings did this movie. And it's the same director. It's like the same guy. And you can tell, like when I watch this movie, I'm just like, oh my God, that's JoJo as fuck. Like I feel it. I feel the JoJo energy in my veins when I watch this movie, and it makes me so happy. It's hard to explain in the same way with Promare, where you feel Gurren Lagann, you know, in the like, you know, in essence in Promare. I feel JoJo in essence in Batman Ninja. And it's just so over the top and exaggerated, and it knows what it is, and it's very self-aware. And I love it for that. And it's just so good. And it shows you every corner of like the Batman catalog in terms of its like cast. You know, you get to see every single character. You get to see Two-Face and Penguin and Nightwing and Robin and Red Hood and Joker, and it's got like a fun, engaging story, and like it's goofy as fuck. Joker turns into a Voltron at the end, and they both have this like clash where they're screaming at each other like anime villains, and it's fun as hell. And then at the end of the movie, Batman does a fucking genjutsu, and I'm like, ah! I was like, yo, this is crazy. And then he starts fucking Itachiing that shit, like using like the bats, and then it does like these splash pages where it's like it shows like the character and it does like a little screenshot like Joker, Batman, and it did it for whenever Batman like changes form. So it's like Sengoku Batman, and then at the end of the movie when he's doing the jutsu, it's like Ninja Batman, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. I fucking love that shit. The movie, I want to really emphasize that the movie was like genuinely well made. Like, I'm gonna try and talk about this movie critically as much as possible. Like, when you're making a movie that's kind of just like a really basic gimmick like this is a very gimmicky movie. It's just Batman in Japan. It's very easy for that to get stale. It's very easy for that to like overstay its welcome, right? But it doesn't. It's fun the entire time, and it gets like goofy and like over the top in like the best kinds of ways. Like when Joker has like a mansion that has like arms, like that's so fucking like, I love that. I love that his like little Japanese like house like, you know, grows arms, and Batman has the Batmobile and he's like, I got you, Batman. And Batman's like, no you don't. And then he goes in the Batwing and he's like, oh yeah, well I got you. And then he like skewers him and he's like, oh yeah. And then the Batwing turns into a Batmobile, like a Bat motorcycle. All that stuff was just great. It was just fantastic. The movie was well paced. It didn't overstay its welcome, and it knew what it was. If this movie took itself seriously, Manny, it would be dog ass. And there's a lot of Batman movies that do this. There's a lot of Batman movies that are gimmicky, and they don't really lean into the gimmick. They more so just kind of, they're just like, oh, there's still going to be like a generic Batman story. And it's like, bro, stop wasting my time with the shit that I've seen 1,000 times. Go over the top, get crazy with it, get weird. And that's what this movie does. It gets weird with it, and it, I keep saying it, but it knows what it knows what it is. It's very self-aware, and it leans into that wholeheartedly. And this is why what I said earlier matters, like intent. Like, are you trying to create like a serious movie? Are you trying to create like a thought-provoking art piece, or are you trying to create a fun movie where it's just a bunch of action, right? A lot of movies that claim to be fun, like mindless action movies, are bad, like as an excuse. Is like, oh well, it's a dumb mindless action movie, so like, you know, it's not really bad. And it's like, no, you can do action well. You can do like a fun fan servicey Batman in Japan movie and execute it well. And this movie does that. Like, I don't sit down and watch this movie and think, that could be better. Like, I didn't feel that. Like, I didn't feel like it was just a dumb gimmick. I felt like it utilized its concept to its fullest. And that's all I ask from a movie. That's all I ask from a movie. I just want to see a movie like reach the stars with whatever it's trying to do and grab that star, and Batman Ninja did that. And I didn't think it would, because people don't like this fucking movie, Manny. Like, people don't like this movie, and they're wrong. And I think the reason why people don't like it is because they watch the English version. The English version takes itself seriously. It takes this goofy ass movie where Joker turns into a Voltron, and you know, Red Hood's head looks like a fucking dick, and you know, Joker is wearing like Japanese garbs. It takes this goofy ass stuff, and they like change the dialogue to be more serious. They try to make it like more cool and epic, and they try to add like more emotion to the narrative. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help, as Michael Jordan would say. And it makes me mad, because that's the version that's accessible to people. That's the version that is promoted to people. That's the version that's on YouTube. That's the version that's on HBO Max. If you want to get the fucking Japanese version, you have to hunt for that shit. I almost bought a Blu-ray. Just to anybody, you know, I assume you watched the English version, right? When you watched it.
Yeah, I watched it because I watched the English because I watched it with my brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how it's called.
Yeah, but you liked it, so I mean, you know, maybe the English version didn't impact everybody that way. That's just me theorizing. If I had to guess why a lot of people might not like it, maybe they wouldn't have liked the Japanese version either. I don't know. Maybe this is just not for a lot of people. Maybe they think it's just too silly and over the top. But it's so self-aware. It knows what it is. So like, that's not really an issue to me. I like when things are over the top and like grandiose. If it knows that it's like goofy. It's Batman in Japan. It's Batman with a fucking samurai sword fighting Joker on top of a Voltron Japan house thingy. It knows what it is. It knows it's silly.
Yeah, sure.
And because it knows that, and because it's so well executed in its action scenes and its animation and the soundtrack, Manny, I know you're gonna love this. The guy who does the soundtrack for Batman Ninja does the soundtrack for JoJo, and he does the soundtrack for he basically did the music composition for Great Days.
Great Days?
Yeah, like he made the song, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And when I watched this movie and I listened to the songs in this movie, I'm like, I could see that. Like I was listening to the soundtrack, and after I watched it, I'm just like, this shit slaps. Oh my god. I love Batman Ninja, and I don't really have anything else to say. I would give Batman Ninja a 7 out of 10. It's really close to an 8. It's a strong 7. It's a 7 that's closer to an 8 than a 6. I give it a 7 and not an 8, kind of because if there was one thing that's negative that I would say about it, I felt like the climax kind of fell flat for me. Like the whole final like battle, I felt like Batman, like bats coming out of nowhere to form a giant Batman was like, I was like, that does not make sense within the logic that you've established in this universe, right? Like bats don't love Batman. That's not how Batman works. He doesn't command the bats, right? And if you want to establish that in this movie, you could, but they don't. And that's not really how it works. So it kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's goofy, but it's not goofy in a way where it makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. And that's just something that I couldn't really get behind. And that's like the big set piece of the movie. You're supposed to go like, oh, look, it's a giant Batman. And I'm just sitting there like, no, sorry. Like, I can't do this. But yeah, that was such a minor thing though. People don't like this movie though, and it bums me out. Like, I look at the reviews on IMDb and I'm just like, holy shit. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just IMDb. Maybe it's like the wrong crowd. Maybe it's more of an anime thing. I go on my anime list. It has a 6.08 on my anime list, which is pretty low. Yeah. It's crazy. People fucking hate this goddamn movie. Do you have any like rationale towards that? Like,
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think my brothers like that.
Really? Maybe it was just the English version. Possibly. That's just my theory, right? I'm not trying to like tell people like why they felt a certain way about something, but like if I had to rationalize why someone might not find this movie fun, the English version is a possibility. So yeah. Maybe. All right. I think that's all I got for that.
Yeah, I wish I had more. I wish I had more anything to say.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
I watched it so long ago.
I know. It's been ages. Yeah, we watched a lot of things that the other party did not see. So what did we watch? What did we both watch that we talked about? We talked about Promare and
it's Deca-Dence. Deca-Dence is the last one.
Yeah, Deca-Dence is the last one. What was the other thing though? It was something that we both. Oh! I felt like Your Name and Weathering with You was like a very meaty discussion where it felt like we both like knew what we were talking about. Yeah. Okay. So, Deca-Dence.
Deca-Dence is so weird, but it was weird in a good way.
Okay.
Like the fucking, cause you know the first episode you think everything's just normal, and then the next episode it's like. The introduction was fantastic.
I liked how it started. I guess I'll just be blunt. I did not like the rest of the show. I thought it was very bad, and I was very excited to talk about it with you because of how bad it was. I was looking forward to that when I called you and you were I was like, yo, I watched Decadence of Atomic Galaxy. You were like, yo, how was Decadence? I'm like, no, you have to watch it. Like, we need to talk about it. I can't tell you and then you go into it knowing that it's bad. I mean, I felt like it was bad. I mean, I don't know how you felt. I thought it was like terrible, and I'm ready to go into grave detail as to why it was bad. So I don't know. Do you want to start somewhere, or do you want me to just?
I didn't think it was good.
Yeah,
I think it's very forgettable.
It's not. So
I thought it was like.
Go ahead.
I thought it was like. I don't know. I think you definitely hate it more than me.
Mm-hmm. I fucking hate it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was just below, like very below average.
It is below average. It's very below average. You're not allowed to be below average. Average is such a low bar. And it blows my mind that people. You want to know why this show is talked about and why anyone knows it? The show is talked about because of its intro, and because its intro is so compelling, like, whoa, because it's so subversive and so like out of left field, like, oh my God, they're in a dome and like it's being controlled and they're not like real. It's kind of cool, like, honestly. But then as you start to learn more, you start to realize that this show is not fully realized. This universe is not fully realized. It is trying to do so many things at once that it doesn't explore any of the things that it is doing to its fullest, right? So, for example, you have a bunch of people stuck in a giant mechanical thing, fighting like aliens that like come and attack their dome or whatever, and they have to go out and they have to fight them sometimes, right? Attack on Titan. It's very similar to Attack on Titan. Extremely similar. They have omnidirectional gear. They fly around and they hit people with like, a little spear thing. They are stuck inside of a wall. They want to be free. The little girl wants to be free. She wants to go outside and she wants to, like, it's literally Attack on Titan. It's like the same fucking thing. But the twist is that, they're in a dome and it's all a game. And it's like people from the dome log into bodies and they go outside to play a game and they're the actual warriors. Okay. That's very similar to Ready Player One. Not in the sense that, Ready Player One inhabits real bodies, but in the sense that, it's like a video game and they're going in there. But it's actually no. It's what I meant. I remember I made this comparison in my notes. It's similar to Westworld. Do you know what Westworld is? Westworld is an HBO Max series about a theme park where AIs are like play as people, a theme park that is kind of in like a Western society. So they took this piece of land and they were like, we're going to build like a little Western town. And then people can go on vacation to this Western town with a bunch of AI robots and they can do whatever they want. They can live out their little Western fantasy and they can shoot people and they can kill people and they can, be an outlaw, but it's not real. Everybody in this is a robot. So you can literally do anything to anyone. And it's like a commentary on like humanity when you're in a situation like that, because a lot of people, when they went to Westworld, they would like go and like rape people, and it's not illegal because they're robots and stuff, right? Like, and it shows like the desire of like man, and it's a very smart show that has like a lot to say, and it's like it's it's a lot of social commentary, and also the AI are like starting to develop their own personalities, and they're starting to question their own humanity and stuff. And that's like the plot of that show. And this is very similar to Westworld, where people are going into this society that's not aware that these people are real people, right? In Westworld, they just kind of treat them, they're programmed to see them not as like human beings and to see themselves as AI. They're programmed to think that they're human, and to think that they themselves are human, and the people that are coming into the town on vacation are also human. The people in Deca-Dence are programmed or persuaded or convinced into thinking that the humans that go out and fight the aliens are humans that inhabit their world and inhabit their city. If that were real, if that was a real situation, someone would say, yo, I miss having a dick, I want to go fuck. And someone would try to fuck. Not everybody wants to go fight, right? Like, you're in a body. You can do so many things. You can eat. Can you eat up there? Do you eat? You just put this weird thing in your ass and like suck some juice. Like, it's not. What I'm trying to say is that it doesn't explore that aspect fully. It's like, oh, look at these guys. They're playing a game and they gain points. It's like, okay, well, what if they want to do something else? Like, what if they don't want to play that game, but they want to be in a body, right? And they want to have an avatar. There's so many other things that you can do with this concept, and you're not doing it. You're not using the Attack on Titan stuff, because clearly there's a show called Attack on Titan that does that, that where they do go outside and they do explore the world, and, like, you get developments on the narrative. So they don't utilize the Attack on Titan derivative shit. They don't utilize the Westworld derivative shit. And, I felt like there was like a third one. Oh, the Ready Player One stuff. It's like Ready Player One in the sense that they gain points, and it's like a video game, right? And there's like a competition happening and stuff. They don't even really utilize that fully, because you don't get to explore that entirely, because the show's not about that. It's about this Truman Show, like, oh, like, we're like on the, like, I'm down here and like I empathize with the real humans, even though they're not like really something I should care about because they're like part of the game or whatever. It is such a bare bones version of like all these other things. It's trying to be Westworld. It's trying to be Ready Player One. It's trying to be Attack on Titan, and it doesn't explore any of these things fully, and it feels half baked and basic as a result. And it's basic to a degree that's unacceptable. It's basic to a degree where it's like, yo, this isn't even like a bad, this isn't even like a basic concept that you're doing poorly. This is just a straight up bad idea for a story. Like, this is a dumb fucking idea for a story, and this is stupid. It really leans into like the Westworld angle. In Westworld, the AI character that lives in the Western city, she starts to recognize her own identity and starts to realize that she's a robot. And one of the humans that comes to the place for vacation falls in love with the robot, because the robot is so human-like. And it's like, whoa, I'm in love with you, but you're a robot and you're not real, but like, you seem real. Are you real? It's a very philosophical thing, and it asks a lot of questions in that regard. And Deca-Dence is kind of trying to do the same thing. It leans into the Westworld angle more than it leans into any other angle, but it doesn't even explore that fully. It's so bare bones and basic, and it's so like, it doesn't even try to do anything remotely interesting, right? We're talking about like, right, I say it's derivative of Attack on Titan, where it's like, oh, I'm in here and I'm like an imposter and I'm not really supposed to be here and I'm pretending to be somebody else. It's the same fucking thing, but it's so much more interesting in Attack on Titan, because so many things are a catalyst of that. When you find out who the Armored Titan and Colossal Titan are, that leads into a whole nother plot line. You get to explore so much more about where they came from and what their purpose is and why they did it in the first place. This guy, you don't get to explore all that. You don't get to do any of that stuff. And it's very frustrating. Conceptually, it's just a bad idea. It's a bad idea for a show. That's one thing I have to say about it. and I probably could go more in depth, and I could probably go more detailed, but that's what I'm gonna give you for now. Number 2, the animation is not great. And that's not to say that the show is poorly animated in the same way that something like Black Clover is poorly animated, right? It's not like low production value. It's very high production value, but it feels off. When they're fighting things in Deca-Dence, it feels as if they are not really flying through the air. When they're using their little omnidirectional things, I never get the sense that like, yo, this dude just like is swinging around this fucking alien and he's flying all over the place. When I watch it, I feel like it feels off, and it's because of the animation. It's because you don't have any reference to tell you that they are moving in a certain way, at a certain pace, like at a certain speed. So in Attack on Titan, whenever people are flying around on omnidirectional gear, every single time there is always a reference to show you that they are moving. When they fly, the sky behind them kind of moves a little bit to show you that they're moving a little bit. When they, when they fly, they you see the buildings like going by them. You see like foliage and trees like going by them and stuff. In Deca-Dence, the way the gear works, they're always in the air. They never touch the ground. There's no like surfaces for them to really grab onto. So the camera is just in the air, and it just has this background, and it just shows this dude like flying around, but there's no depth of field. Like, he's not going further away from the camera. He's not coming closer to the camera, because if he does, then it would break the sense of motion, because the background is just a picture, right? It's not like there's no reference. There's nothing to show you. There's nothing to
Don't worry, I get what you mean, dog.
Yeah, like if a rock is right here and you move backwards in the frame, I know that you're moving backwards because the rock is right there.
The rock is the reference.
Right, exactly. And there is no reference in Deca-Dence. And it's so weird for me to say this about a show with such high production value, but it has bad animation specifically for the fights because of stuff like that. And that is consistent throughout the whole show whenever they fight. And it's annoying as fuck. And it's something that is so bad to me. Because it's like the only thing I have to latch onto in this show. The show fucking sucks, like, because the story sucks and the characters are super basic, and it's just so whatever. But then you have the fights that aren't even good. It's like, bro, why the fuck am I watching this? It's so bad. I like the little character designs when they're in the ship.
I love those designs.
Yeah, but what is the purpose behind them?
To be the only good thing about the show.
Yeah, it's so weird, bro.
Honestly, like that, those little characters, I feel like while watching the show, I was like, what if the show, forget all the other dumb shit, what if the show was just about like these characters? Like,
it should have been. That was the most compelling aspect of the show. That was the best part, when you saw them in their own little world. That was what the whole fucking twist was centered around. The entire twist of the movie is like, yo, look at this other society over here. This Ready Player One. These guys are playing a video game. All that shit down there doesn't matter. Pay attention to this. And then you're paying attention to that, and then they're like, all right, well, we're gonna focus on this again, because like down here is really interesting. It's like, no, it's not. Come on. Like, why? Just, bro, imagine if this dude like genuinely didn't give a fuck, and he was like, yo, I'm here to play a game, and I'm here to just do whatever the fuck I want. And imagine if they leaned into that, and that was the primary focus of the story. Imagine if they focused on the gaming aspect of it. Maybe if the gaming wasn't just centered around the fighting and it was centered around, like, I don't know, maybe getting pussy, like anything else to like spice things up, maybe to make the plot more interesting. That could lead to some interesting conflicts about this dude questioning his morality and stuff and the system and blah, 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 blah. But they give you this twist of like, here's this thing that's more interesting than this thing. And then they don't even focus on that thing. You know? It's bad. And it sucks because that is the more interesting aspect. But it's so weird because the logic for why they look like that is so weird. It's like humanity didn't exist. So one company was like, yo, in order to save humanity, hop on this ship, relinquish your human body, and we'll give you a robot body. But you have to listen to our stupid fucking rules. You don't get to rebuild society the way you see fit. Because we're a company, and companies still exist even though humanity is extinct. Are you fucking serious? Like, there's no thought put into it. It's like you can't have a corporation if there's nothing to, you know, there's no country to belong to. Like, it's like, bro, what? Like, bro, come on. That doesn't make any sense. This is the pinnacle. This is like the cynical nature that I was acting towards Vivi. This is like what I thought Vivi was when I first watched it. And I hate to bring up Vivi because I know it's like annoying that I keep bringing it up. But the difference between this and Vivi, the reason why I like still stand by my opinion on Vivi lived up to its premise. Vivi was a story about an AI finding her humanity through singing. And it accomplished that. It accomplished at being a decent story, and it explored that concept to its fullest. What does Deca-Dence do? No, does Deca-Dence explore its concepts? No. Does it have likable characters that are fun to watch throughout the entire time? No. Does it have a good soundtrack? I don't remember. It might have. I don't know. Let me not say that. Does it have stellar animation? No. It doesn't have any of the things that it needs to have in order to be a good show. It doesn't have a plot that I care about. The plot is so basic and so flawed, and it's squandered potential, which makes it even more frustrating. It's like, this could be so much more interesting, but you choose to not have it be interesting. I'm sorry. I'm not letting you speak.
Honestly, dude, it's good, bro. It's fucking Deca-Dence. Like,
Why did you recommend it?
I just saw it. It was cool.
Yeah. It did look cool, but it wasn't cool.
I didn't know, like, when I saw Deca-Dence, I didn't know there's going to be some fucking Ready Player One bullshit on the background.
Yeah. It could have worked if they leaned into it more. If that was the focus.
That shit came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere.
I saw those little fucking things. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought I skipped the episode.
Yeah. It's so weird, Manny. It's trying to be so many things at the same time. It's so weird because your brain is like, yo, I can fuck with this plot. Before you see the things and before you know that they're in a dome, you can fuck with the plot of like, yo, people are stuck in this thing and they fight aliens. So now in your brain, you're like, oh, that's not what the show's about? Okay. Like, you're kind of disappointed a little bit because you kind of wanted the show to be about that because you were into that. And then it's not about that. And it's about this other thing. And it's like, all right, well, this other thing might be interesting too. And then it's really not about that. And it's about this other thing that's like less interesting than both of those things. Fuck this show. I don't, what else can I say? I mean, I could take a look at my notes. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling so much.
Don't say sorry. Don't say sorry.
I feel bad. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being a hard ass on this show. Let's see. Oh man, I wrote so many notes, bro. Okay, well let me just read my notes now as like a closer, I guess. Premise is derivative and basic. Way too similar. Too many other things. Way too similar to too many other things, particularly Darling in the Franxx and Attack on Titan. Audio mixing in English dub was terrible. Yeah. Holy fucking shit, Manny. I bought the Blu-ray, so I had the English dub and the sub, like, with easy access. I bought the Blu-ray, and I shouldn't have. I sold it. I would have shown it to you, but I sold it. In the time that we did, from our last podcast to now, I bought the Blu-ray, and I sold it within the same amount of time.
Damn.
I know.
Okay.
The audio mixing on the Blu-ray. It wasn't just the Blu-ray. Like, this would have been in the Funimation version as well. When there was a fight scene, the dub is impossible to hear. The volume is so low on the voice acting track for this thing. All you have to do is turn the volume up. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. I cannot emphasize that enough. The sub, the volume is fine. I can hear the characters talking perfectly fine. In the dub, I literally can't hear them. And you know how Funimation doesn't do dub titles. They only have subtitles for the Japanese version, right? You know, like, so I had to switch to the sub whenever I couldn't hear the dub. But then Funimation, you know how sometimes they wouldn't play the opening and they'd play like, they just show the opening credits like over the show?
Yeah.
When Funimation does a Blu-ray release, they change that to English. They change those lines of text to English text for the Funimation staff that, like, you know, produces the English dub. The English text that's covering the screen during these important scenes, like this is happening during important scenes in the show, like narratively, is covering the entire screen, and the subtitles are there. And they're the same font. They're the same font. So it's subtitles, white subtitles over other white subtitles. Like in the... I'm being so nitpicky and I'm being like so cynical. But I was switching between dub and sub like every other episode. Because neither one was a consistent experience. It was the most frustrating experience ever on a Blu-ray. And that's more the Blu-ray's fault, like the subtitle thing, because you won't experience that on the streaming service. But yeah, I mean, I like the look. I like the look of the Deca-Dence. I think the Deca-Dence is kind of cool with its like fist. I like that. I wish the show was about that. I wish that you could literally make a show about that. Would it be a derivative of Attack on Titan and like Gurren Lagann? Yeah. But I don't know. I'd rather have something that's derivative and like it actually explores its concept than to have something that's like trying to be unique and then it's not unique. On the back of the box, it was like from the creator of Death Parade. And I was going to watch Death Parade for this episode to try and see what he was going for, because I can really tell that this is like a vision of one guy who was like, yo, this would be such a cool thing for a show. People would totally watch this. And then it like, he just doesn't have a fully realized concept and it just fucking sucks ass. I can totally see that, because this isn't based on a manga. This is an original anime, you know? And Vivi is derivative and basic, but it's fully realized, and this isn't. And it's because he came up with the idea and he came up with the twist. He knew the twist would be OD. He knew that when people watched the first 2 episodes, they'd be like, yo, what the fuck? Yo. That's why he did that. That's literally, I'm being so serious. That was the like that was like the best part of the show. And then the rest was bad. Yeah. I don't like it. Let me continue reading my notes. I'm sorry. Let's see. The twist of the zone being destroyed and the outside world being revealed is really cool, and it validates the events that we've been shown up until this point. But even with this twist, I feel like the concept of this world being abused for entertainment purposes is underutilized. I was hoping we'd get to see how the ranked players act in Deca-Dence world when the only reason they're there is for fun, but we don't really get to see that. I was also wondering how the normal humans operate on their own without noticing all this nefarious shit, but you don't really get to see any of that. This show reminds me a lot of Westworld. It's like the same concept, except in this show, it explores the concept in the most shallow way it possibly can. It's only episode 5, so we'll see how it goes from here. Oh boy. Episode 9. Why would the snake guy say that he wants to betray his friends in service of the system when he himself is only in the trash can because he betrayed the system? Oh, yeah. Do you remember that? I'm so glad I read that note. Do you remember the snake guy at the end? The guy who was like a slithery guy. Like he was like a snake character.
Oh, yeah.
He betrayed his friends because he's like, yo, you need to follow the system. Nigga, you betrayed the system in the beginning of the show. That's the only reason why you're in the trash. I don't know. I don't know, man. Ugh. I'm going to read my rest of my notes. If you wanted to stay on the outside, all you had to do was just follow the rules. They gave you a chance and you said, no, I have morals. And now you're doubling back? Fuck you, stupid fucking show. That's what I wrote down. There are 3 whole episodes left. I wish I could just play this at 2 times speed. Fuck this show. If I love these 2 main characters, then maybe I'd be able to manage sitting through this show, but I just don't care. There's something there and they have their moments, but for the most part, I don't care. Like when they do these flashback montages, they show like the 5 or 6 decent moments between them, and that's it. They just stop after that because there is nothing else of substance. It's so fucking annoying, LMAO. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That was a good note right there.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm reading my notes. I have some pros. Overall, art direction is nice. I like the design of the Deca-Dence, the monsters, the gear they use. It's cool. I agree. I stand by that. I still think the show looks kind of cool. Mm-hmm. The dog is cute. That's it. Those are the only pros I have.
The dog. That was a bug. you watched the English, right? You saying you watched both? Right?
Yeah, they called him Pipe. Yeah, they go.
Well, we gotta get rid of bugs.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say about it? I know I'm just going off.
Dude, I didn't even fucking take notes, bro.
I'm glad I watched this though, and I'm grateful that you recommended it because I need opportunities to shit on things, you know. We need to watch bad things so that we have perspective. I've said that before, and it's good. It's good that we have perspective, you know. So you want
to watch a bad show?
Only if you watch it too. I'm not gonna watch it by myself. Only if you watch it.
I can't waste my time in bad shows.
Yeah, I mean I can, if it's short. So, what would you rate Deca-Dence?
I give it a 9 out of 10. No,
that's valid.
I give it a 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's so forgettable. It's like,
yeah, I genuinely think it's like objectively bad. Like I think it's genuinely flawed in many ways. So once again, the way I do my ratings is like I start at a 5, and if there are things that I think are bad that outweigh the pros, then I will go down in points. If I think there are things that are good that outweigh the cons, then I'll go up. I think that the cons of Decadence genuinely outweigh the pros. I think that Decadence is not a competent show at all, and it doesn't really go out of its way to be anything even close to average. In an attempt to be unique, it actually ended up being even worse than average. So I'm going to go down from a 5, and I'm going to give Decadence a 3 out of 10. It's pretty bad. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. Sucks ass. Fucking. I like, once again, and like I said in my notes, like there were moments where I liked the characters, like the two main characters. Moments, but that was so rare in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, so bad. I guess that's it.
I'm sorry, bro.
Huh?
I'm sorry, bro.
I know.
But at least I was there with you watching.
Yeah, I guess so. I watched so much stuff. We did talk about some decent things though. We talked about Your Name. We talked about Weathering with You.
Weathering with You and Your Name is a good one.
Yeah, that was a good combo. I liked. We talked about Promare. That was decent. So I guess it's Weathering with You, Your Name, Promare, Decadence, Ghost of the Shell. I liked our talk on Tokyo Revengers because I liked hearing you talk about it. Yeah, and it's a bummer. I was really looking forward to talk about My Hero because I have a lot to say about that. But
yeah.
Maybe until next time. So do you want to? So we're doing movies this time, right?
Yeah, we're going a literal movie run.
All right. So, all right. So you're doing four of your movies. I guess we'll just watch those. I was gonna recommend some of my movies because I got some movies.
Them.
Let's see. I don't know. If I recommend something, you might have to buy it. And I don't. Would you be willing to do that, or do you only want to do something on HBO Max?
I can probably find it somewhere.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to subject you to like having to watch something that you might not want to watch. In terms of like having to buy it, but yeah, it depends if it's on like a service, because there's a lot that aren't on like streaming services that I want to watch. We got to watch Wicked City and Vampire Hunter D. We got to watch those. Those would be interesting discussions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you brought those up before.
Yeah, let me see. Let me go to my anime list and let me go to my movies. Bear with me. I know you're tired. Thanks for sticking it out.
Nah, I'm not even that tired.
Yeah. Let's see. There's a lot of movies that I want you to watch. I don't know. There's a lot. Jinro, the Wolf Brigade. That's one that you gotta watch. Have you seen Ninja Scroll yet?
No.
You'd like Ninja Scroll.
I know I will.
Yeah. I guess we'll just stick with your movies for now, because I feel like my movies are going to be weirdo movies. You got to watch Satoshi Kon movies and Mamoru Hosoda movies. You'd like those.
Yeah.
You'd love Satoshi Kon. You'd love any of his movies.
I think I would as well. I think, honestly, right now, when it comes to movies, I kind of just want to knock some of the Ghibli ones out the way.
Yeah, that's okay. We can just do that.
let's call again soon. Let's not do it in like a month because you're gonna watch like these mad quick, and
Yeah.
I want to kind of talk about all of them. So let's just go on a fucking marathon. Like you watch you said Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke,
Okay.
Ocean Waves,
and Ride Your Wave.
Ride Your Wave. All right, so we can watch 4. We can watch 4 things.
Probably sneak one into.
Okay. I mean, what's the one you're gonna sneak in? Do you want to do surprises still?
Because surprise one. I'm probably gonna watch if I got a time for another. I'm probably gonna watch the Moving Castle, Howl's Moving Castle.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that at the end of the month because that's coming to theaters like at the end of the month. So.
Okay, I'll save that then.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you could do squeezies if you want to, but I would like it if we could talk about every single one, you know, and like we plan like which ones we end up watching so that we get to talk about everything and we get to have like a unified discussion on every single one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do those 4 and then let's talk. I don't know. I'm trying to get my YouTube grind back on Black on Flow. So let's try to do like let's try to do I have to make sure that I have time for all this. Today's October 2nd. Should we do 1 week from now or 2 weeks from now?
1 week would be good enough.
Right.
I'm gonna knock out Ocean Waves like.
I know
today.
I know you'll finish this shit mad quick, but I'm just like trying to manage my time properly because I'm trying to start making videos again, and like I go to the movies a lot. Like we're talking about anime that I watch. Man, you don't want to know how many movies I've seen since the last time we talked. So it's like the amount of times I go to the movies, the amount of times that the amount of time that I work, and the amount of time I watch anime. I need to allocate time for videos. And when I really admit it to myself, I kind of need to stop going to the movies low key so I can work on making videos. But yeah, I mean, I kind of don't want to do that, but I might have to do that because I feel like this takes priority over that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. All right. So let's do a week from now. Let's do next Saturday, like the next Saturday coming up. Watch Ocean Waves, or you can just text me when you're done and then we can just talk about it when you're done.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that's it. I guess that's all we got.
Hold on, I wanna write down what was discussed today.
We discussed.
I need a fucking next episode. I'm gonna have my phone charged so I can talk in my kitchen.
Bet.
So,
We talked about
because I don't even have like light in my room, so that's why I'm just in the dark.
I feel it. We talked about
Promare,
Your Name, Weathering with You, The Cat Returns. Okay.
Hold on. Fucking shit's bugging. Every time I type in my fucking notes, it's like laggy now. Maybe I type too much shit.
Wow. That sucks.
Rendering with you. What else? Deca-Dence. Talked about Tokyo.
Tokyo Revengers.
Batman.
Batman Ninja, Ghost in the Shell. Oh, watch fucking Star Wars Visions at least. That's really short too.
Yeah.
I know you don't. I mean, I know you don't want to pay for Disney Plus. I can give you my Disney Plus. I can do that. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
It is cool, sure.
I'll gladly do that. I don't share it with anybody. So Ghost in the Shell. What else? You already wrote Deca-Dence.
Oh, we talking about Totoro.
My Neighbor Totoro. I can't think of the other ones right now. I'm so tired.
There's one more.
No, that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, the 4 movies I watched. You watched Batman, Ghost, Deca-Dence. We both watched in Tokyo. Yeah. This is like the longest. This is the most. I don't think. This is like not the longest call.
This is not the longest call. No, the last one
But
was like 5 hours long. This felt the longest.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It felt long. Felt
a lot
like
of shit.
I know. Yeah, because we talked about a lot of stuff, and it was like a lot of negative talk, a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, this wasn't the
best
greatest episode.
No, it wasn't. It was a lot of stinkers in this list.
Yeah, really for me, the cat returns and Weathering with You were really like stand up.
Yeah. I really like the conversations where like we both have a lot to say, you know, and like
Yeah, that's why we got to go back to watching the same movie.
Yeah.
Not taking a month.
I feel that.
Because I don't remember shit from Batman Ninja. And I don't remember shit from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't really remember too much from Cat Returns and stuff. So yeah, well, we'll know for next time. So Princess Mononoke, Ride Your Wave, Spirited Away.
Have you seen any of those movies I recommend? Or
I've seen Ride Your Wave. And I've seen bits and pieces of Princess Mononoke, and I've seen Spirited Away multiple times. I've seen it like 3 times, and I'll gladly watch it again. And then I've never seen Ocean Waves.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Movies. I feel like I want to make like another list, a separate list for movies.
Oh, look at my list. I got all the movies.
Like, I feel like the ratings would be just different from the anime ones.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to make a list like for normal movies?
Nah, just so like, I don't know.
Oh, you mean for anime movies?
Thing is with normal movies, like, I don't know where I would start.
It's a lot easier when you really sit down and think about it. Just think about a movie that you've seen and then just put it down. Just write it down and just do that.
Shrek 2 fucking 8.9.
Mm-hmm. You don't have... I didn't rate a lot of the movies that I've seen, like from when I was a kid.
Yeah,
I just log them in. Like a lot of the anime on my anime list are not like logged. Man, my catalog is really growing. Like I love looking at my anime list and seeing like all my ratings. It feels so nice.
Dude, yeah, I remember when my notes was growing.
That's why I just been watching a ton of shit. My IMDb is like, bro, I watch so many movies this month. It's insane, Manny. I watch a movie every day.
That is crazy. It's funny too, because people at work or whatever, they talk about like anime and shit.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, these guys don't even fucking know. I show them this list, bro, and they would only know like the top. They would only know like the top, like they would barely know anything in the top 50.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what's fucking Trigun and shit like that.
Hey man, no bullshit. There's stuff that we know that people would look at us and say that we're uneducated, you know? Like I'm learning about so many anime that like we like no one like that is in our like social group would ever watch. Like stuff that you and me probably would never watch.
Mm-hmm.
But like I mean, I might watch now that I know about it. I found like a whole sea of anime from like the 90s. There's a lot of anime that's like lost media, like anime that isn't on Crunchyroll that's like really good. And it's just kind of like you have to like just find it on YouTube or something. There's a lot of anime like that. And people just kind of assume like, oh, if it's on YouTube, then it's probably ass. But there's like a lot of, I don't know, there's like a lot of classic anime that just never got like licensed in America, you know?
Yeah. And when it comes to like my anime like knowledge or like fucking prowess, I was lacking. For years I've been lacking on the movie side. Now I'm catching up.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Goodfellas on Sunday for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Goodfellas is like in my top 10.
I've never seen it, so I'm really excited. It's my dad's favorite movie, so that'll be fun. I also I have a local movie theater, like I talked about it, and they're doing Martin Scorsese movies, and so I watched like Wolf of Wall Street like recently. I rewatched it. I'm like, damn, that movie's good. It's a fucking good ass movie.
Bro, man, if I was home, bro, I would literally pull up to the theater with you because.
Bro, I wish you could have.
Scorsese's so good.
Bro, I've been binging all of his movies like for the past month. I've seen like 5 Scorsese movies, and the ones that people don't really know about. Like,
You seen Taxi Driver?
Yeah, I've seen it ages ago. I didn't watch it in the theater like the day that I said I was going because you needed to be vaccinated and you need to have your vaccination card. And I was like, fuck, I don't have it. And I was very upset. But I saw it ages ago and I told you I didn't really like it. And I wanted to rewatch it to see if I could like it again. But yeah, I know that's kind of like weird that I don't like Taxi Driver and I'm like obsessed with Martin Scorsese right now, but it's kind of where I'm at mentally.
Fucking love that shit.
I know. I think if I were to say my favorite, he made a movie called The Last Temptation of Christ. And it's a movie about the story of Jesus, but it's like if Jesus had the temptations of a human being. And it's a very thoughtful movie on like what would Jesus do if he was like a normal guy and he wasn't like you know, if he had the flaws of like a normal human being. And it's like, holy shit, like this is such a creative take on the story of Jesus. It's not like, you know, biblically accurate. It's like doing its own thing, but it's so thoughtful and it has so much to say. And it's a Martin fucking Scorsese movie. Like that's awesome.
Yeah. Scorsese he's a GOAT.
He really is.
He's a GOAT. Yeah. This like a couple months ago I was watching a lot of Tarantino.
Yeah.
I remember I told you I watched
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that shit was sick.
I just watched Casino Royale today, actually. James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was pretty damn good. It's not even really an action movie. It's just kind of like James Bond playing poker for like an hour and a half. And it's so good. It's fucking awesome. It's cool as shit. I love it. It's dope. I like James Bond.
Bro, I need to watch James Bond movies. So good.
Yeah.
James Bond's awesome. There's
so
too many
many-
movies. There's too many movies coming out. Honestly.
There's so many James Bond movies.
You don't need to watch all of them.
No, of course, but
There's a lot, yeah.
there's so many, and they all look the same.
Because they are. That's why you don't need to watch them all. They all are the same. Except for the Daniel Craig ones. Those are a little bit different. They're like canon, kind of. Like important shit happens in them.
Isn't there a new one coming out like this year?
Yeah, it comes out like next week.
No Time to Die.
Yeah.
Skyfall. Remember when this one came out?
I'm gonna rewatch all the Daniel Craig ones and then go see No Time to Die. I haven't seen Skyfall in years. Skyfall was my first James Bond movie. That was a lot of people's first James Bond movie. A lot of people who didn't even like James Bond started liking James Bond after Skyfall. And I remember loving that movie. I remember thinking that movie was awesome. Yeah.
I saw bits and pieces, but
It's
I think I'm gonna hop on the James Bond trend.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. I like it. I thought Casino Royale, oh, Manny, so well written, bro. Such a fucking great script. It's literally a movie where characters are just talking the whole time, but it's so good. It's so good. Ugh. Fuck. Do you have any plans to watch Sonny Boy?
Finished, right?
Sonny Boy.
Yeah, it finished, right?
Yeah, I just finished yesterday. So that's something that we can end up watching.
Yeah.
Maybe not for next episode. It's also important that I also think for our episodes, we got to watch like few things. Because if we watch like 12 things, we're not going to have a lot to say on like all of them. Because that's basically what I did. I had like 12 things and, you know, I didn't know what to say about every single one.
I feel you.
So I like to limit it to 3. I know you want to do 4 movies for like this thing, but I don't know. 3 has been kind of our sweet spot with like our picks, but if you want to do 4, that's okay. I like to do 3 because when I create the thumbnails, I like put the posters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't fit 4 pictures.
You do like.
I guess I could do it like a box.
You can do like the cross, but the 3 looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the
Fucking-
fuck? Oh, okay. Dude, I get paid, but it's like my money doesn't go up.
Where do you use your money go to? What does your
Dumb
money go towards? Dumb shit?
Money goes into fucking dumb shit.
Do you spend it on yourself?
Yeah. Bro, I made a fucking dumbass fucking
Purchase?
I made a dumbass mistake where like I put a bid on a site for his shoes, right? I put a bid. Shoes are like $150, right?
Yeah.
I put a bid on for like $150. Then the next day, this is like I only bought one thing off this app. I'm not really new to it. I'm new to it.
eBay?
So no, it's StockX.
Oh.
Then the next day I was like, man, I really want these shoes now, so I'm gonna raise the bid. I raised the bid, but apparently someone took my bid from the other day, the 150 one, and then someone took my next bid for like the one I raised, right?
You don't get a notification when someone takes your bid?
Bro, I guess not, bro.
That's what eBay does, at least for me. It sends an email and it's like, your bid was raised. Like, do it. Raise your bid if you want to fight this.
Dude, it's so dumb. Like, fucking, but I'm not done either. Because
They probably do that as well.
I still didn't know that someone took my 2 bids. Then today I was like, yeah, I need these shoes actually. So I bought the shoe again. So I bought the same shoe 3 times.
But when you raise a bid, you don't spend the same amount of money like a second time.
What'd you say?
Right.
No, the thing, like, I put a bid in, right?
Yeah.
I was the highest bidder.
Yeah.
It's different on this app because, like, you put a bid in, but
you get charged for a bid? You get charged while the bid is active, but what if someone beats you?
This is the thing, because I know eBay bids are like, they're timed, right?
Right.
There's a time, like, it's like 5 days bid. On this app, it's like you just put a bid in, and it'll like last for like a long time, and then someone will see your bid and be like, yeah, I'll sell it to this guy for this amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It's different. So like, I put in a bid. I was like, I put in like a bid that's low. Like, it was probably like $30 off the normal price. And I was like, maybe I can finesse it, right? The next day, I was like, I don't think that finesse is gonna work, so I'm gonna raise it. Then that first bid, someone took it. Then when I raised it, someone took that one. Then I bought the shoe again without knowing that I already bought the shoe twice.
Wow.
And I can't cancel it either. So I'm fucked.
Well, you can sell it. Just don't open it and sell it.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm trying to sell it to some Navy.
That's what I do. That's what I did with Deca-Dence. That's why. That's how I justify buying Blu-rays, because it's like, well, if I want it, then I'm gonna keep it, and if I want to sell it, then I can sell it for the same price, or close to the same price.
You sell stuff on eBay?
I only just did it because of Deca-Dence. Deca-Dence forced me to do it. I was like, I can't keep this trash on my fucking shelf. So I started doing it, just for Deca-Dence, and that was the first one I did it. And it's not that hard. It's pretty easy.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna fucking sell this shit back.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit, man. I was just looking at my credit card shit, and then I just saw like 2, like 150, 170, like 180. I was like, it was like pending. I was like, what the fuck is that?
That would make me cry.
I go on the app and it's like, I had the same 3 shoes like shipping. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it'd be sometimes.
That is not how it be sometimes.
No, it do. I mean, I don't know. I've been in that situation where I accidentally buy 2 things that I don't mean to, and then I just have 2 other things that I don't need.
It sucks. Imagine if I bought something like way more expensive. Now I know. I'm not bidding on this fucking site. I know how eBay bids work. I like eBay bids more.
Watch 2 movies and then watch Star Wars Visions. Do that. And then we'll have our next chat.
How many episodes of Star Wars?
They're not even 30 minutes long, but it's like 9 episodes, I think. They're like 15 to 20 minutes. But they're not even that long. But watch Star Wars.
I'll watch Star Wars, man. I'll get to it.
All right. You sure you want to do the 4 episode thing?
What, the 4 movies?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if we call next week, I'm probably going to have them done anyway.
I know you'll have them done, but are you sure? Do you think it'll make for a fun episode? Like 4 movies in 1 episode? Will you have a lot to say about 4?
I don't. There's not really much to say. Probably like Spirited Away and Mononoke, but I don't think Ocean Waves and Ride Your Wave you're gonna have a lot to say. To be honest.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I'll rewatch them.
I mean, you don't have to watch it.
Oh, I want to watch them. I want to watch all of them. I'm just saying for the sake of the episode. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, then we can drop it down there.
If we were to drop one, which one would we drop?
I'm gonna watch Ocean Waves because that shit's 1 hour.
Let's
I
do.
want to watch Ride
Let's
Your
do.
Wave.
Let's do. You want to watch Ride Your Wave?
Yeah.
Let's save Spirited Away for later then. Let's do Princess Mononoke, Ride Your Wave, and Ocean Waves.
You know Star Wars?
Are you gonna? Do you want to watch Star? Do you want to watch it when you get?
I'm gonna watch.
You gonna watch Star Wars?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do. You want to do Ocean Waves, Ride Your Wave, and Star Wars?
Sure.
Nice. All right, let's do that. I think that's the best format. I think we've gotten the most success when we have like 3 things to talk about. All right. So I'll be waiting for you. I'll finish this shit tomorrow. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. So I'll watch Ride Your Wave and Ocean Waves tomorrow.
You gonna watch both tomorrow?
Yeah, I watch movies like every day. So
Yeah, shit. We might as well do the next episode tomorrow on this stuff.
if I will do it, I'll be waiting for you. Like I'll be ready whenever you're ready. So
Okay.
if you watch them as soon as possible, we can record the next episode as soon as possible. Like let's bang these out. Like let's fucking go. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Bro, I watched Deca-Dence and Atomic Galaxy right after our episode. And I was waiting like a whole month. So I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Yeah. Let's fucking do it.
All right, sounds good, bro.
All right. You gonna
Yeah,
go
I'm gonna
to sleep?
I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired as fuck too. All right. Nice talk, buddy. All right. I'll see you later.
All right, bro. See ya.
Deuces.